Everybody keeps saying what's up with Beyonce's bodyguard. I seen that story. We'll talk about it in a second, but is that really Beyonce's bodyguard? Because these bodyguards these days, I don't know if they're not signing NDAs, but these niggas is doing a lot of talking. And if some of the shit y'all saying is true, how the hell are y'all talking for a check? But, we'll indulge. We'll hit the allegedly. We don't know what's going on. Right? I see some people mentioning Kyrie versus Flacco. I'll address that real quick. Kyrie absolutely is intent. He wants to beat the brakes off Flacco. Okay? I'm going to take the blame for that confrontation not going down, that fight. It's going to be a friendly fight, nothing too out of bounds. This is something that they both, and I wanted to make sure that, again, I'm a streamer and somebody also who now knows, you know what I mean? I don't want nobody to say I pressure nobody into a motherfucking thing. So anyway, both individuals looked like they were trying to do it on their own merit, but I'm going to take blame for it not happening. I was supposed to go to L.A. A few things came up. I did not go to L.A., and because of that, Kyrie didn't get to go to L.A., and he's still feeling to catch a fade. So, he desperately wants to put them paws on Flacco. Flacco's a cool guy. I don't know how the disrespect got to this point, but at some point I'm pretty sure this could be rescheduled. Right? Got it. Somebody said they had a drop on me. Who had a drop on me? Stop it. Let me not talk about stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna take blame for that because I didn't go there, and I think part of the reason why he was going was because he knew I was gonna be out there. So I'll take blame for that. But it could be rescheduled if both individuals want to. It might be a dead issue, bro. You know what I mean? It might be a dead issue. So I realize these days I have a lot more liability. So this is why, I'm the one. I'm gonna seem pussy in this situation because I don't want nobody to think they're fighting or they're doing something because of pressure from me. That can't be the story. That can't listen. Trust me, I have all type of people these days trying to say anything, just trying to get yeah. So kind of crossing my T's, dotting my I's. But if those individuals want to do whatever they want to do, I'm pretty sure it will happen. Conversations could ensue, but that's as much as I'd say about that publicly right now. So yeah, blame me for that. I'm pretty sure it'll happen unless Flacco don't want no smoke with Kyrie no more. But Kyrie was, Kyrie want to show he one of those. He from New York. All right. Anyway, why do I look? I feel like it looks dark in here. Hold on, let me. Give me a little bit. Okay. Other than that, chat. A few other things. I think merch will be dropping tomorrow, if not the day after. Let me know if this is a good idea. Hit up the people who I had. Actually, we brought them out. Actually, tell me if I should do this. So we're putting out the prize merch, right? And then we're also we're partnering with Wise Salmando on the No Mystery My History shit, right? Other than that, I was gonna bring back for a limited run, and I don't know if y'all want it. So essentially, when I was at Complex, and this is kind of 4 years old, damn near. So when I was at Complex and I went to ComplexCon, we brought hella chat nigga merch there. We brought probably 1,000, and we had about from my recollection, about 100 SKUs that didn't sell. And I don't know if I should put them back on sale, but it's the chat nigga hoodie, the original one. And I was thinking, I'm if I put those merch back on sale, maybe I'd sign it or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get it out in the next 2 days. But that's just chat nigga housekeeping. Somebody says respond to Joe Budden. What did Joe Budden say to me? I love Joe Budden. 1090 Jake snitched. Did 1090 Jake snitch? What the fuck? Oh, we got to get the Shraggy merch. That's absolutely, Shraggy's obviously one of the easiest ones. Okay, cool. Let me just start a little bit, organized a little bit, right? So, Um, if you probably came on YouTube, you probably seen the topic of the stream. I want to kind of get into this whole thing, and we're probably gonna spend an hour on it. It's gonna be at least an hour. So you know what I realized is that once we get into the big topic, we just stay on that big topic for the rest of the stream, and 5 hours later, I'm like, okay, it's over. So let's hit the small topic first. We're gonna hit the. I know y'all want to hear everything about the X and Drake shit. Like, we're gonna talk about that. If y'all want to hop in and give y'all chime in or whatever, I definitely want that to happen. But I want to start small first, right? There's a bunch of other little small topics that I feel like we have probably neglected. Most of them you could probably find on my Instagram page. Thank you guys if you guys do follow me on my personal or the main Instagram. Obviously, congratulations to LeBron James. I'll start there. Congratulations to LeBron James. My bad, sorry. He broke the record for the most points in the NBA ever. He's had an illustrious career. I personally think, he's the best player I've ever seen. I didn't watch Michael Jordan in the heyday. I'm also a little bit biased. I have recency bias when it comes to sports a lot of times. And yes, you could argue it both ways. Like, for example, when it comes to basketball, like, my favorite player of all time was Allen Iverson when it came to basketball. But then, as time went on, I realized how inefficient he was. Like, my man shot low 40%. These days, you look at a Curry, you look at, LeBron's pretty much a big man. You look at most of the shooters, shit, they're shooting low 40s from the three. Like, these guys shoot really well. Obviously, I've learned to realize that, still Allen Iverson still was a fucking phenomenal player, but it's the eras. It's hard to compare eras when it comes to basketball. Allen Iverson played in the era where, like, niggas could fucking clothesline you damn near. I mean, it wasn't the 80s, but, like, people were hand checking you. It was harder to get off a clean shot. These days, Curry's shooting from the logo, but, like, niggas not even running out to him. You know what I mean? Like, the way you could defend a shot in the 2000s and definitely in the 80s is much different than now. So I don't want to say it's easier to be a better shooter now, but the game and the rules is set up to be a better shooter now. So I usually, when I think about players from yesteryear, or like, other, eras, it's hard for me to kind of like extrapolate how they would do in other what do you call it again? Other eras, because we only saw them in their era, right? I seen somebody recently they said, well, if Curry was playing in the 80s, he would only average 18 points. And they explained it brilliantly, and it made sense, right? If we could hand check him, like, every time he's running around 10 screens, he getting hit 10 times. So is he going to have enough wind? Remember, his ankle is fucked up. Is he going to have all of that to still be shooting like how he's shooting now? Probably not. But he lives in an era where the game is, and the rules are kind of more tailored to him, right? The reason why I give LeBron the best player to me of all time, I think LeBron could have existed in a physical league, and I think he's efficient now in a league that's more about, finesse and shooting and all that type of stuff. I think he's a multi-generational talent. It's hard to say when it comes to Jordan. Jordan obviously had a crazy mid-range shot. Dude could jump out the gym. Obviously didn't focus on the three-pointer that much, which now is a huge part of the game. Like, I think LeBron probably already took more threes than him, obviously, right? So, it's kind of hard to say, but if you ask me, watching LeBron James, I give him the GOAT status, man. I give him the GOAT status. And when I give him the GOAT status, I always say when we think about sports, there's a few different GOATs, in no matter what you talk about. There's a few different GOATs. Now, you might prioritize one or the other. To me, I think he's the best skilled player of all time. And when I mean skilled player, I don't even want to say by position, just overall. Like, say we have attributes: dribbling, shooting, post up, whatever, defense. I think overall, add all of his attributes together, the best skilled player overall. Is he the best winner? No. Look, Michael Jordan clearly is the better winner. And that's where, like, these conversations are pretty much just only for content. Because if you argue LeBron versus Jordan, what do you care about? Do you care about the rings? Do you care about the dominance? Like I've always said, like if we think about dominance, Michael Jordan was never the most dominant player. Like compared to other people, like Shaq dominance compared to the rest of the league, and Michael Jordan's dominance compared to the rest of the league, or even shit like Kareem, like in his prime. Both of those players was shit on Mike in terms of dominance, but the best winner, the best complete winner, I think is Jordan. The best just pure skill player, I'm going LeBron. Let me not say pure skill, but just for everything he has. That's why, like, yeah, he'll never have the amount of rings that Michael has, but like, shit, I really feel he could really do good in any era. So I give him a lot of credit for that. The conversation, did he pass Mike, is always going to happen. Obviously, the people who grew up watching him are going to say probably him. You know, shit, I remember, you know, my mom grew up watching Michael. Like, my mom literally had a poster of Michael Jordan fucking just like on the wall. So, you know what I mean? That conversation continues, but I give LeBron so much credit. By the way, I'm glad this moment happened. Kareem has been known as a hater for like the last like 5-10 years, trying to trying to belittle LeBron James. We're living in an era where, you know, I think people kind of understand it now. Michael Jordan was nigga was an alcoholic, gambler. He had a bunch of degenerate tendencies. LeBron James is really just a but nobody really ever, that wasn't the public narrative about him because it wasn't social media. Now when it comes to LeBron, if LeBron shouts out Taco Tuesday, it's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, the nigga can't really do nothing in terms of advice and people not know. So, you know, it's completely different scrutinizations on both players. But I do think Kareem's a hater. LeBron is the GOAT. Michael Jordan also is the GOAT. I hate how they kind of squeeze Kobe out of it by saying, well, Kobe game was mirrored after Mike, and because Kobe isn't better than Mike, he doesn't even need to be mentioned. I love Kobe. I think Kobe's just a fucking competitor. I think he's the best competitor and the most fearless competitor. Definitely, I think basketball. Well, him and Mike are probably up there. But I think this is just a good thing, all right? Anyway, yeah, Kareem a fucking hair, man. But yeah, congrats to LeBron, man. And it's tough. You know what I mean? Like, he's been to more finals than most people. He hasn't won all of them. But shit, he went against some teams that, like, come on, dog. He went against a fucking team that everybody was shooting from the logo, my nigga. Like, come on, bro. Also, for everything that we've given to his teammates, we also have to realize how good LeBron was. First of all, we realize, like, no disrespect to D-Wade, but D-Wade's rocking dresses now. He had to win with that nigga. No disrespect, but we haven't heard about Kevin Love since, like, he left that nigga. And no disrespect, Kyrie got traded or left, like, 2-3 different teams. This nigga is discombobulated. You know what I mean? He over here think he's a black Hebrew. We don't know what's going on with these niggas. You feel me? So as much as people like, oh, LeBron had all this help, them niggas who he claimed to have help with, them niggas is only catching L's or being forgettable or rocking dresses. So I just want to give my man LeBron some credit, give him his flowers. Mike is a tough act to follow, but as long as he's in the conversation, I think that's good enough. You know, you have to realize the thing with Michael Jordan too is that he was branded the GOAT. I mean, shit, the signature shoe helped solidify him. I mean, it's hard to kind of combat that legacy, but salute to LeBron, and I'm extremely proud of him, all right? And one of the reasons I'm extremely proud of him, I'm not like a LeBron James dick rider, but I love to watch history. You know what I mean? Like, there's some niggas who really never watched Jordan. They're going off like old tapes. I like witnessing history. I think we're making history every day. And, you know, for you guys who watch me and probably have grown up with me for the last 10 years, like, yo, Ak is the best content creator ever. And then there's going to be somebody who's going to be born in like 5 years who's going to watch somebody else, maybe on TikTok or some other shit, you feel me? And they're going to be like, Akademiks, what the fuck? No, this is the guy. And you got to let people, you know, what they're living and witnessing is just can't be duplicated. So, you know, everybody's going to have their GOAT. And that's why I think it's a great conversation. I hate that. I think only in basketball, they try to make it one unanimous GOAT. Like, it's just Michael. No, my nigga. Like, yeah, for y'all old ass niggas, it's Michael. But for other niggas, They're watching a whole different game, man. Like, yo, Michael was not playing like in this type of NBA. So it is what it is. All right. We can move on. Couple interesting things. You know, I was having a conversation. This is my man Boom. He came out here for a little bit. If you didn't watch, go, please. Go. Not right now. After the stream, go to Spotify. We dropped a podcast today, me and Boom. Just bantering, talked about a couple of topics. I really want to know your opinion on that. Because sometimes, you know, I don't like the pod being too interview focused, but I do like doing interviews as well. But I want to know how you felt about like us just bullshitting, joking around, just kind of have a good time. So me and Boom, we did a podcast. Anyway, I don't know if we had this conversation on camera, but we definitely had that conversation in the car while we were driving to go film. He was like, yo, what do you think if Drake sold his catalog, it would be worth, right? Now, this also piggybacks off something else, and we're going to get to the Michael Jackson thing in a little bit, but let's go all the way down. And Lil Duval actually said something. Let me see if I can find it. Lil Duval said, where is it at? I know I got it. Damn, do I post this much? God damn. By the way, salute to all my like chat niggas who continually help me with content that I could post. You know, I don't know if you guys think I do it all by myself, but like there's a lot of chat niggas who really sending stuff. Okay, Lil Duval said if Justin Bieber, one of the biggest artists out, sold his catalog for $2 million, that should tell you how much these rest of these folks be capping. Now, this is off of everybody claiming they're selling their catalog for a wild amount of money. So if you don't know, so Justin Bieber, 200 million. We're going to actually read this article because this is going to be a very interesting article. Let's go to Variety. Everybody cool? Let me just check on everybody in the chat. You know, I have a Twitch chat, the Twitch chat on the screen, but I got to make sure YouTube is good. Okay, I see YouTube is booling. Okay. Okay. Let's try to make sure everybody is good before, because I hate when y'all be like, yo, act don't read the chat like I'm like some type of hoe ass nigga, man. Like I'm just some type of hoe ass nigga, man. I wish I could sound like one of them Louisiana niggas, man. All right, cool. All right, bet. Great. All right, so, perfect. We're going to read this article because, you know, I try to give like a little bit of like, you know, also music education when you watch me. So, what Duval said was if Bieber sold his catalog for $200 million, he says, you know, some of these niggas is capping. But the devil is in the details. A lot of times people don't understand the music business. And I'm not saying Duval don't, and I haven't even researched this yet, but we're going to look at it live. Let's go to the Variety article because we got to know what niggas is selling. So I keep telling you, like, a lot of times dudes are doing some of these deals for their publishing. Some are selling their masters or their portion of the masters. I'm going to try to help you help explain stuff in like nigga terms or just regular human terms, because I don't even know why they made even the music industry even sound so complicated. It's really simple, right? But I think they made it complicated that they could take advantage of artists. As expected, Justin Bieber sold his music rights to a Blackstone-backed Hypnosis song Capital for north of $200 million. The company has announced news of the impending deal has been rumored for weeks, was widely reported last month. The deal includes Bieber's share of his publishing and recorded music catalog, Bieber's interest in his publishing copyrights, including the writership, the performance, masters, recordings, and neighboring rights for his entire back catalog, compromising 290 titles before December 31st, 2021. Okay? All right. Let me be honest about this deal, right? Because I think we all think Bieber is a very big deal. I don't know if can I pull up Spotify right here? It's going to help me. Spotify, Justin Bieber. Give me a second. Should be able to pop up. Okay, perfect. Here we go. He's had some fucking huge songs. Look, let me make this a little bit smaller. I can see it. Anytime you see about 1 billion streams on Spotify, those are songs probably eligible to be close to diamond. So look, he has a lot of songs. Look, I'll do see more. A lot of songs. That's why people are saying, how is he only getting 200 million? Like if Future got like 75, how is he getting 200 million? Right? And not that he probably dropped more songs in Future, but like, look, yeah, 68 million monthly listeners. Like, what the fuck is going on? Right? Now I'm gonna click on one of these songs. Okay, let's click on Baby. Everybody knows that song, Baby, right? Perfect. And this is another reason why I like, oh, it won't show me the shit. Oh, it won't show. Oh, I gotta log in. All right. I'll do it even easier. I'll go to Wikipedia. Justin Bieber Wikipedia. And I'm gonna try to make this very short because, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm giving like a lecture and some of y'all care and some of y'all don't give a fuck. The important thing to know when you're thinking about what niggas could possibly sell is, all right, let me just say this, right? All of these dudes, I don't care if it's Bieber or anyone else, they don't own their shit. Like the music business is all predicated on you don't owning your shit. It don't matter if you're a huge artist. It's predicated on you not owning your shit. It's actually worse for a pop artist because they drop less albums. It's better for a Future and a Youngboy because they're getting out of their deals like this because a lot of these dudes sign 4-album deals. How long does it take Bieber to drop 4 albums? Let's go to his discography, right? So let's say his first fucking deal was like a 4-album type situation. Let's go to his discography. God damn. This motherfucker got everything. Discography. Okay, discography. Bingo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He dropped 6 albums in 10 years. Because he's a pop artist, he doesn't drop that frequently. Now he's probably dropped, I don't know if he's dropped mixtape. No, there's just albums. Now he's done collabs this and third, but these are his albums. If you ask me, probably 4 or 5 of these are under the first contract he ever signed. Now maybe they probably are nice. Well, not even nice, but like, you know, the guy's making a shit ton of money. If you have him on a rookie contract, you probably just up the terms, like, for example, say the second album, say you signed him for, I don't know, who did he sign to? Did he sign to Akon or something like that? Right? And by the way, we got to look at where that goes through. Basically, like, I'm going to make this really short because I know some of y'all are bored with, you know, really the really nitty gritty of the music industry. He probably renegotiated once or twice, but he's still in that long contract. Here's the point. And it's the same thing going with like Meg Thee Stallion and shit like that, right? But as I said, hip hop artists produce music quicker and drop albums more frequently when it comes than pop acts, right? Because also hip hop artists do mixtapes and then they fight tooth and nail to try to get those to count as albums, right? Here's the thing. Bieber signed a record deal. It's no way he owned any of his masters. And I know people act like it's only black artists that get screwed. Every artist gets screwed. When he signed, he definitely don't own his masters, right? And he probably re-upped, like maybe around the 3rd album. And maybe he owns like, I don't know, let's say at best half of the masters with the label. So the reason why he's not getting $1 billion, because the streams would say he should get a shit ton of money. He's not going to get $1 billion because he don't own it. You don't own it. Why are they giving him the money? He don't own the shit. You only pay who owns the shit. That's the point. So for anybody who cares about ownership and shit like that, it comes into effect now. There's these big companies and conglomerates that's going around and they're giving out these huge deals. They're like, we want your catalog, Future. We want this. By the way, a lot of them are Chinese based and they're actually overseas based, which if you've seen that Spa Balloon, they're buying up real estate in America. They're taking over TikTok, and they're buying up all the music. By the way, they own a Chinese company named Tencent. Chinese company. Tencent. They bought a piece of UMG, which is the biggest label that signs Drake. Look, Tencent buys UMG. They bought Tencent So a Chinese company officially owns 20% of Universal Music Group. Who's on a Universal? Drake, Kendrick, Taylor Swift, Post Malone, The Weeknd. As I'm saying, be warned. Be warned. Be warned. Be warned. China. China. Okay, anyway. For whatever reason, I don't know the play yet. I'm looking into it. I'm trying to talk to people, trying to figure out what the play is for this. Because they're getting funded billions of dollars to go to individual artists to buy their whole catalog. Right? There's a bunch of groups doing it. I don't know. Let me go back to Variety because we're going to try to be fact-based. I don't know if this is Chinese, though. I'm going to be honest. To Blackstone-backed Hypnosis Capital. You see, you always got to Google shit. Google shit. You got to figure out what the fuck it is. Okay, this is a UK investment company. Here we go. It's a UK investment company offering blah, blah. Okay. So it's a UK company. So all this tells me that we're getting international plays where people are doing venture capitals, big little, investment companies are buying up hip hop and I want to say just US artists' rights. Why? Interesting to think about, right? Just think about that. A lot of them are Chinese companies, but this one is particularly in the UK company. Now, again, to counter what my man Duval was saying, Bieber don't own most of his shit. That's why he's getting 200. Remember, usually when you sign to a label, they own the entire master. A normal record contract, you sign away your masters, but you get royalties, and you get advances, and you get a publishing. You get publishing. Usually, if back in the day, Diddy and them. If you wonder why Diddy and them, no disrespect to Diddy. Hopefully, if he sees this, don't think I'm dissing him. If you wonder how these niggas got so rich, they used to take artists publishing. Like the publishing used to just be for the label. Now it's kind of frowned upon. Like if you're taking someone's publishing, people have realized the publishing, your kid's supposed to go to the mailbox and get those checks. If like for example, me and Boom, we riding in the car, we listen to that song, Return of the Mac, Return. You know that song? Mark Morrison. If you look at his catalog, that's the only song really he got. Every nigga, the Fetty Wap done sampled it. Chris Brown done sampled it. Post Malone done sampled it. There's like a million songs that sampled it. Now, that song has about 300 million plays on Spotify. Granted, it's a very historic song. I think it came out in like 74, so it probably did the numbers already. But here's where publishing comes in. Everybody will keep sampling that song because it's a classic song. That one song alone will feed generations of his family. Every quarter, they're going to go to the mailbox and probably pick up a check for, who knows, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. Especially if a new song sampled it recently. So this is how it shows how one song could feed a fucking generation of people. That's how important a song is. Now, if you don't own the publishing, well, he not getting the money. That's how important owning your publishing is, right? So what they used to do to artists is that the label owner would take the majority of publishing and give you an extra check. So you signed for $250,000. He said, all right, well, how about I give you an extra $250,000 and I own your publishing? You don't even know what publishing is. You don't know that if you get a big song that everybody for now till forever will ever fucking, sample, that's how you're going to get paid. You signed off with Diddy, said, okay, take my publishing, but give me the extra $250,000. Okay, dummy. You got $500,000 now, and now you made a song that's the biggest song ever. You get paid in the moment, but Diddy and, everybody else who's, shake that at the Bad Boy Mansion and Carisha, they're eating off that publishing check. That's how it goes. So anyway, I only say this because I'm not trying to down on Bieber, but Bieber probably don't own much of his shit. Okay, let's just be honest, right? I'll use the GOAT to juxtapose to this, right? Champagne Poppy, Drake. One thing, let me tell you this. Another reason why Drake is, and I'm telling you this not because I spoke to him, but just using your fucking brain. The reason why if y'all don't realize, Drake put out 3 projects in a year. He kept it cool, but he put out 3 projects in a year. He's not putting out, he's going to spin the story. Yeah, I'm bored. I'm bored in the embassy. I just want to put out music. No, he's trying to run up these checks and get through these deals and renegotiate again. Drake is one of them. And I don't got to say one of them is. But his paperwork is on point. You feel me? And such is the case, he's renegotiated a bunch of times. Now, if you look at Drake, I can tell you this is a fact. So Drake since 2010, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? From what I hear and based on his negotiation tactics, every Drake mixtape or album has counted for him as an album. So think about how many contracts he's re-upped on. Remember, the way they used to fuck artists over is like, oh, a mixtape is what you do to get hot. Like, because a mixtape used to be you rapping over people's beats, which they couldn't sell. So they'd be like, oh, that doesn't count in your record contract. Right? And obviously that started in the 50 Cent era, this and third. But then these days, people put out full projects and they just call it a mixtape. Now your label's going to be like, oh, that don't count. So you still owe us 2 albums. That's what they've been doing to Meg. Drake has so much leverage that, he made it known, if I'm putting out a fucking project, it's counted as an album. Right? So, this is through the grapevine. He renegotiated before Views. No, before Nothing Was the Same, which is kind of ill. Right? Remember he dropped So Far Gone, Thank Me Later, Take Care. Renegotiated before Nothing Was the Same. After Nothing Was the Same, dropped If You're Reading This Is Too Late. That counts as an album. Drop Views. That counts as an album. Re-upped again. Drop Scorpion. Right? What a Time to Be Alive. My bad. What a Time to Be Alive actually comes before that. What a Time to Be Alive. What's that other shit called? More Life. All counted as albums. And he did a really dope thing. I'm going to show you here. If you want to look at how Drake has done his finessing, look at here, album details, right? You could go to Wiki. This is pretty publicly available. You just got to have, attention to detail. So this was dropped in 2010, right? You're going to notice at first the label, because, he was signed to Young Money, Cash Money, right? Universal Motown was like kind of like the distributor at that point. You're going to realize his label shit keeps changing. Watch. After this point, Republic actually took over. So Take Care is dropped on Young Money, Cash Money. You'll see Republic here. That's the major label, right? Then you're going to start seeing OVO. Very smart thing Drake did. Drake started in his negotiation. He basically, like for example, okay, I'm trying to, I'm not trying to make this too technical because I don't want to lose my casual viewers. Whether Kendrick want to say it or not, a lot of the reason ain't because he was writing a fucking album for 5 years. That's why he didn't do it. Contractually, he was getting his shit straight. You get what I mean? And contractually, he was trying to leave TDE. Now, he was trying to build what his new label is called PG Lang. What Drake did was that OVO, he knew he wanted to eventually just be on his own label, but he still want to get funding from like that super major label, which is UMG. But he wants to work OVO into the situation that he could start owning some of his masters. I could imagine Take Care and Thank Me Later. He probably doesn't own the masters of those. Nothing Was the Same. Negotiated, renegotiated, owned some of the masters to that. Might even been 10, 20%. Maybe like max 25. You get what I mean? Views happened. Views was a very interesting story. I'm going to tell you why it was an interesting story. Because let me make sure my timeline is also good. If you look back at UMG, Lil Wayne drops lawsuit, right? So Lil Wayne comes to a settlement you're going to see in 2018. In 2018, right? This is not printed online. I've just learned this through the grapevine. So the lawsuit, essentially, and by the way, tell me, I got to look at the chat because I don't want to bore you. We could get to much more interesting shit. If this is boring, please just spam next topic. It is very perfectly fine. I'm trying to like kind of give a little bit of education here, but I'm not trying to fucking bore you out of death type shit. And also, if you're aspiring like musician, if whatever you might want to get in the industry, like remember when I said that thing about the old heads? It's kind of like, because how does nobody actually just kind of kick some game that you could be a little bit with a leg up before you walk into like a door? All right, so cool. All right, thank you, chat. By the way, thank you for the motivation. All right, so this was a situation with the Lil Wayne lawsuit, right? Lil Wayne basically claimed, I never got residuals. I didn't get all my advances. I missed out on certain shit. I've been killing it. His lawyer and his accountants come up to the figure of $51 million that they're owed, right? Accountant was missing, all type of shit's going crazy. Normally, let me just tell you how, and by the way, I think Birdman pretty much admits this. He said, like, their accountant was the best. He said it was the first time he ran a label. He kind of took blame for that. The way how many labels do it is kind of like many companies. And I mean companies, content companies. You have to audit them or they're not going to pay you, right? They're just going to assume that whatever they spent on you is more than what you made. So why even cut you a check? So the only check they cut you is the advance, which is a loan. And they're thinking that you will never recoup versus the loan plus all the expenses they're spending to make the album, promote the album, put the album out, fly you on jets, doing all these things. So they never pay you again, right? This is the reason why Blueface is getting hit in the head with a Henny bottle, right? That's what it is. Like these guys, Blueface probably got like a check of like, I don't know, $500,000, $600,000. It's probably half of what he needs for the album, but they're not going to greenlight an album because Blueface is cold, right? So he's not going to get another check. He's not getting no residuals. He probably said, fuck it. Rather than stay here trying to keep performing Moonwalking and Calabasas, which isn't a song, and Tatiana doing all this weird gyration shit, let me just go do something else because the label, this is a business. They're not going to cut you another check until you, whatever. So Wayne comes up with a number, 51 million. He sues, right? After he sues, Birdman basically says, I don't even got the money to pay. Now, Birdman ain't broke. Birdman is cashed up. Birdman has a fucking gold toilet. Like, Birdman lives like a fucking king. They got Bugattis, Maybachs you never fucking seen. It's Birdman, okay? So, what ends up happening, he says, I ain't paying. They start beefing because he doesn't even really want to come to see terms with Wayne, right? He says, I ain't paying the shit. Right? He does an Angie Martinez interview, basically says, yo, in reality, yeah, me and my son, we don't get it back together, but 51 million, that nigga tweaking, right? Basically saying he would probably pay less. If you ask me, Birdman ain't trying to pay over $10 million, right? Cool. It goes on, it's going through courts. They ask for Birdman's motherfucking legal documents. Like the accountant shit, it's all in shambles. Now, what happens is that Young Money, which is owned 51% by Birdman, and Cash Money, which is owned 100% by Birdman and Slim, they're financed by Universal. So in asking all the parties for accounting, they ask Universal for accounting. Universal is realizing this is going to be a big legal thing. They don't really want to get all the way into the shit. They come up with a perfect situation. They said, Birdman, we know you got the fucking money because we used to cut you all them checks. You fucked up, blah, blah. Birdman's probably like, just hand her up, whatever the case is. They tell him, this is how we're going to solve it. We're moving Lil Wayne's contract to Republic, straight to Republic. So we're taking the contract out of your hands. You will get no more cut from what Lil Wayne is doing. Unless he gives you publishing, which that might be some side deal. And we get Nicki and Wayne. Or Nicki and Drake. And supposedly Tyga, but like Tyga was already out of his shit. So everybody from Young Money goes straight to Republic. So Republic is saying, we're going to pay Wayne this $50 million, but we're paying him this $50 million because now we're absorbing all the profits that Birdman's supposed to make off of them. We just care about keeping the engine going. If we could recover this $50 million off these guys in the next, I don't know, because they could wait 20 years, we're good. And that's how exactly it happened. Okay, Birdman don't pay a dime. Universal pay all the money. Wayne contract move up. You know, they still kind of still say cash money, like, you know, CMB, you know what I mean, like the gang, whatever. But it's under Republic. Wayne, Nicki, Drake, right? Cool. You'll notice then when Drake drops when Drake drops Scorpion, you're gonna start seeing Republic. Well, actually, actually, my timeline's a little bit off. No, this is the last album that is Young Money, Cash Money, right? Because if you look at the time, what is it? June 6th. He turned it in already, even though it's got dropped June 29th. This was the last, and I think he had some ominous bars about his label situation. I don't know if y'all remember. Drake always be rapping about his label situation when it's time to re-up. He had some type of bars about it, but it came out with an imprint here, but it was really a Republic release. Anyway, after that, you're going to notice, what do you drop after Scorpion? We got to go to the mixtapes. So the mixtapes, call it the mixtapes, but you already know what it is. Where's the mixtapes? Dark Lane demo, you're going to see just straight Republic. You don't see Young Money, Cash Money again. So after 2018, you never see Young Money, Cash Money again. Like, it's like Young Money, Cash Money is like an imprint that Birdman owns, but they won't fund it no more type shit. You get what I mean? So everything is just Republic, and that's them making back the money that they paid to Wayne, because Birdman they want to pay, right? So they're making some money off Drake, making some money off Nicki, whatever the case is. And what you're also going to realize is that after Scorpion, well, this is not public information, Drake negotiates, and from then on, what's been told to me is that Drake owns at least half of his masters. So Drake got so much leverage now at he could really just not re-sign. He got so much leverage. He owns half of his masters. That's not typical, right? Keep in mind, I told you the Young Boy story. Atlantic did not want to give that nigga none of his masters, but Drake supposedly owns half of his masters here, and he does the new deal, right? Right before he drops CLB. When does CLB drop? It dropped in 2022, right? Where is CLB at? Yeah. All right, 2021. He does a new deal. This is the one for like 500 to 600 million. And I hear he gets even more of his masters. So I don't know what percentage directly, but he owns the majority of his masters for all of these releases. So essentially, not to shit on Bieber, but when Drake sell his shit, you're not getting no. I know Bieber's popular and Bieber got 200. Drake's getting like 2 billion. It's straight hit out the water. And the reason why, I was long-winded to explain it to you. The reason why all this happened is that the pop artists, they don't negotiate or renegotiate as much because they don't drop as much projects. Drake dropped all type of EPs, mixtapes, collab albums, and basically he has the leverage where he could force the label to count them as albums because they're selling amazing. And essentially, they want to keep him happy because if Drake's unhappy, the music business would be in shambles. So now he owns pretty much a good amount of his masters. I don't know what his publishing situation is. I'm pretty sure he's just owning all his publishing unless he got like some wild publishing deal, which I don't think he needs. And whenever he decides to sell, I think that's going to be the $1 billion play. Now, anyway, I said all that to say, and that was long-winded, I'm sorry. It explains, if you take pieces of what I said, Michael Jackson, the estate is nearing a music catalog sale of near $1 billion almost, okay? Actually, let me, Michael Jackson estate variety. Now, Michael Jackson did mad sales for his catalog before. Mad sales, not his catalog, but there's publishing deals that I believe they did before. Anyway, let me read it. Michael Jackson's estate is in process of selling half of his interest in the Legendary's musical catalog in a deal in the $800 million to $900 million range. Sources confirmed to Variety. Also, let me give you the play too, right? I want to give y'all a play. Again, this is just music nerd, music business understanding shit. So here's the thing. Like, for example, you might say, why did Future sell, part of his catalog? By the way, YoungBoy did a deal too. You know what I mean? But if you're wondering why Future sold his shit, is that with hip hop artists, again, because you produce music more quickly, or just quickly, if you sold the last 7 projects, in the next 4 years, how many projects do you think Future finna put out? He's probably gonna put out 7 more projects. So again, they look at it as, yeah, maybe I'm lowballing myself if I'm only going to have those 7 projects that you bought, but I'm about to make 7 projects in the next 3-4 years. So yeah, those are classic songs, but I'm about to get some new classic songs. So that's why hip hop artists are kind of like trying to get on the role of selling shit. But some of these other guys who don't put out music as much, I don't think it works out for them as much like it works out for hip hop artists. Anyway, Michael Jackson's dead though, and I can imagine the family or their estate is just trying to get some money to probably do some other shit. So it says about $1 billion for about half of his interest, and I don't think they have. I don't know how much they have. Look, while details are unclear, sources say that Sony and a possible financial partner are negotiating to acquire 50% of his interest in Jackson's publishing and recorded revenues. That's interesting. This is also interesting because I think Michael Jackson's estate owns somebody else's publishing. Michael Jackson estate owns... Oh, it owns like the Beatles catalog, which is interesting. Something like that. It was sound financial advice that McCartney may have come to regret given on August 14, blah, blah, when Michael Jackson purchased the publishing rights for the vast majority of the Beatles catalog for $47 million. Oh, my God. Like, white people love the Beatles. Anyway, all right, I'm done with the music nerd shit. This is just kind of interesting to know. I hear there's a lot of deals being talked about. Salute to everybody who's collecting bags. Salute to Irv Gotti, who did a good job collecting his bag. Everybody's collecting their bag right now. I'm not sure how long this buying spree is gonna last, but look, see, we hear this. There was a $200 million plus acquisition from Dr. Dre. Yeah, everybody's selling, man. And they had acquired the rights to Taylor Swift's first 6 albums. Remember, that's why Taylor Swift has re-recorded her albums. You get what I mean? Taylor Swift was tight about this. She lost the rights to Scooter Braun, and then Scooter Braun sold that bitch. Anyway, all right, enough of that. Music nerd shit. Let's get into the bullshit, man. Let's get into the bullshit, people. Bruce, what up, man? By the way, let me shout out my gifters real quick because yesterday I forgot to do it and I felt so horrible I got off stream without shouting out all my gifters on Twitch. Jinx, 9 and 10, please, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. Playful Anxiety with the 5 gifted, appreciate you so much. Bentega Zilla, Goon, Insta Tsunami, thank you. Phantom Squad, A is Shek. Karina, thank you. Houdini Soul, oh, thank you. Damn, this nigga went crazy. Probably did about like 20 yesterday. Damn, a lot of people resubscribe. Enzo Kubrick, thank you. The Golden One, Drill. Damn, Drill gave give to like 10. Appreciate you, Drill. Jinx, Playful Anxiety again. Sir Blexington, thank all of you guys. And thank you to all my people who have resubbed and, whether it's Prime or not. J Cake says, yo, I fuck with these type of topics. Yo, I love talking. Like, again, that's why when I was arguing with that dumbass nigga Sharp, I was like, come on, man. Like, this guy's used to like just shouting at women and just having these low IQ conversations. These are like, conversations that I really enjoy. I love talking about streaming services and growing subscribers and like music payouts and stuff like that. But sometimes, I don't know if you remember, if you guys follow me long enough, I used to do videos on those. I used to be like, damn, I'm into this shit, but it feels like a course. Like, y'all might be like, bro, tell us who's beefing with who and get the fuck out of here. We don't care who's with the shit. So I appreciate you guys when you tell me you do care about that content because I'm one of those people who likes to watch how the business is going. You know, again, the reason why I brought it to y'all about the whole Atlantic situation is because I heard about this whole shit before. It's like, yo, these motherfuckers about to get their bag. They named me 3 executives. They said, yo, these motherfuckers about to get a $90 million bonus if Warner Music on the stock market gets like either 2 or 3 positive quarters of growth. So you know what that means? Stop spending and just stack. You feel me? So of course they're doing these artists crazy. So sometimes you got to understand the business to really kind of get what the fuck is going on. Wolf Guy 44, thank you for the sub, and also JD, thank you for the resub. All right. Beyond that, what do y'all think about the Super Bowl? Y'all got to help me pick. My man Rod Wave, I think he's trying to call these broke ass rappers out, man. You know what I mean? Because, yo, I want to thank him for inviting me to a show at the Barclays. The Barclays hold about like 17,000 people. He sold it out like 2-3 nights in a row. Did you know that Rod Wave is doing an arena tour, my nigga? Like, he's mad quiet and like he's not the loudest, he's not woofing, bro. But, bro, just think about it, my G. This nigga, literally, he's getting a lot of money. I think he says this to shit on niggas. Bro, he's selling out like, hey, let me show you his tour. I think it's the Beautiful Mind Tour. Beautiful Mind Tour. I just want to show you, let me see if I can find the venues and shit. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, here we go. Bro, you're going to see a bunch of places. Just look at the, look. United Center in Chicago, right? Let's look at the capacity. United Center capacity. 23,000. Now, he's not doing 23,000 there, but he's probably doing like 17, bro. Like, come on. Yo, Rod Wave is selling out over 15,000 seats. Going crazy. Not the most talked about, but definitely people love his fucking music. Look, Columbus, Ohio, Nationwide Arena. Let's see how that shit's hitting. Nationwide Arena capacity. Let's see how that's going. 20,000. Like, bro, like nobody's talking about it, but my boy's going crazy. He's going crazy. Look, Minneapolis, Target Center. Let me see how that shit's hitting. Target Center, capacity. 19,000. Again, just minus like 3,000 or 4,000 because, you know, they're going to have a stage. You can't watch the motherfucker while his back's turned to you. Like, somebody said, how much is Blueface catalog worth? Not enough to pay for the house? Houston, Toyota Center. Let's see how this Toyota Center capacity. 18,000. Bro, I'm telling you, like, yo, Rod Wave is fucking killing it. So, Rod Wave is getting major money. Major money. He's doing his thing. His tour is fucking crazy. Like, people were just in there just fucking balling, just enjoying the great music that he made. And, you know, I'm a pocket watcher. If you doing arenas, you're collecting a bag. Also, you know, no disrespect, but he's not doing, like, if you go to a Drake tour, the reason why Drake got to charge you like a couple $100, Drake gonna have a Ferrari. I don't know. He did this on a tour. They're like a Ferrari or some shit, hovering over the whole shit. They have fire, lightning, shit coming from the sky, 20 million dancers, but that's high production value. Now, I'm not dissing that or complimenting it. I'm just saying you got to pay a lot of money for that. Rod Wave tour, he got a simple set. He comes out. Bro, ain't a bunch of fire, none of this. He's not running up all over the place. He got a mic, literally just sitting there. And, like, they got a spotlight on him, and he sings his heart out. And, bruh, he walks back out. And everybody loves it. Nobody's like, oh, my God, where's your backup dancers? Why don't we see pyrotechnics? Nobody cares. So, the amount of money he's spending and doing these arena tours, yo, he's getting a bag. If you ask me, he's probably picking up 600,000-700,000. Wait, hold on. Let me try to think about. Maybe not 600. Around 400 to 500,000. I think Rod Wave is picking up 400 to 500,000 on his tour. And a lot of times, what people charge for a one-off show, they usually lose money when they go on tour because you got to move all this shit around to every city, and you're trying to like invest in production value. But bro, people just like the nigga singing, dog. So Rod Wave is cashed up, and I think this is him shitting on other rappers because he know half of these niggas is broke. This is what he said about the Super Bowl. Hear what he said.
Man, I know one of y'all route niggas, somebody trying to go to the motherfucking Super Bowl. The Skybox nigga, 1.2 million, nigga.
That's Blueface's house. Blueface's house. Blueface's house, brother.
I don't fuck with these niggas, but if you want to go half, we go half.
He don't want to go half with nobody. He only said that niggas could know where he's rocking at. A nigga spent $600,000 for a 3 to 4 hour event, nigga. He's just trying to tell you he got it, nigga.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Super Bowl's happening, man. Who y'all got? Who we picking? I want to pick the Eagles. Can we pick the Eagles? By the way, salute to my boys over at Prize Picks. You know what I mean? They said, listen. We know you've been losing all your money recently on FanDuel. They said, bro, hop over here and make some picks for the Super Bowl. So I'm going to need y'all help, chat. I wasn't really paying that much attention to Super Bowl, but y'all going to have to help me pick who's going to win and shit like that. So we'll probably do that tomorrow or something like that. But since my boys at Prize Picks, it was like, yo, somebody said they leaked the winner of the Super Bowl. What the fuck? Somebody said Philly's annoying. I ain't gonna lie, I've been rooting for Philly a little bit because, yo, Gilly and Wallow, they're like, bro, they're on the sideline with the team. I don't know what the fuck. Like, Gilly and Wallow are like literally, they got a play chart with them. I'm like, damn, they're on the team. That's what's up. All right, let me see. What is this right here? Yeah, Whitney Houston, bro, the server, Whitney Houston. Okay, this is the dude who got shot with, what's it called? Hey, chat. You know what I really wanted to ask y'all? Because I really just don't know. Is my boy John Morant really gangster, bro? Like, I really want to know. Like, niggas is telling me, like, he got 2 bodies. Like, bro, I'm hearing crazy shit about him. Then somebody say, nah, he not like that. He's just trying to be, like, young boy. Like, what's going on with him, bro? Then I seen he tweeting out shit like this because I don't know if y'all heard the story, right? So John Morant supposedly, right? Let me read it. Apparently on January 29th, when the Pacers visited the Grizzlies, right? They're saying John Morant got into it with somebody. And I don't know what this is. Let me see. And they said, look, John Morant and another player got into it, and eventually James Johnson got involved. Looked like Ja's friend, like just some random nigga, like just like some hood nigga, was escorted off the floor. So let's watch. Okay, the Grizzlies would win, but the incident reportedly escalated following the game. Here's more from The Athletic. They said following the game between the Indiana Pacers and the Memphis Grizzlies on January 29th, and Memphis acquaintances of Grizzlies star John Morant aggressively confronted members of the Pacers traveling party near the team bus in the load-in area of the FedEx Forum, and later someone in a slow-moving SUV, which Morant was riding in, trained a laser on him. Pacers staff spoke with The Athletic under the condition of anonymity, and they were under the belief that the red laser was attached to a gun. According to their account of the situation, there was a Pacers security guard that said that's 100% a gun. No police report was filed. The report indicates that, The report indicates that the lead up to the incident, Pack and Pacers and the Pacers traveling party were engaged in a shouting match in the area's loan area for 15 to 20 minutes. And as Ja Morant and his associates exited the arena in separate vehicles, the laser was pointing in the direction of the whatever. This is what he said.
Nah, all that stuff, pretty much false. It's been proven. That's all I got to say on it.
You said you felt like the Grizzlies are the most hated team.
We
Is
are.
that frustrating?
Nah, but we are. You see it every day on social media. Anything that, got something to do with the Memphis Grizzlies, is front line, national television, national people tweeting it, putting it out. Anything else, it don't be said. I feel like we wasn't the only team on, a losing streak. But we were the only ones mentioned, so, yeah.
So as far as, with everything that came out in the last couple of days, do you interpret that as more Grizzlies hate, or how do you process
I honestly
all that?
don't care, bro. I'm not, at this point in my life, man, I'm protecting my energy, bro. Not responding to nobody else, not entertaining nobody else. That's what they need, likes and clicks. So.
Because you said it was all false, but they said there was like a confrontation back there.
I answered that question earlier. I'm done with that topic.
There's a new narrative out here that you guys just need to play basketball. What do you?
I don't got nothing to say to that either. I just said I'm protecting my energy. I'm not responding to nothing like that no more. Entertaining none of that.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, Ja. Appreciate it.
Hey, chat. Y'all know what I think about this shit, man? Yo, Ja, I'm gonna keep it a beam, man. I'm gonna give him some advice, man. Big Ack is here. Brother. You ain't done a motherfucking thing yet, bro. All I'm hearing is woofing. All I'm gonna just say is this. Yo, Ja. Aaron Hernandez wouldn't have just pointed. He would have clapped the nigga. Yo, Ja. Listen, we've seen gangsters in sports. Don't half gangster it. If you gonna gangster it. Aaron Hernandez putting a nigga on a t-shirt. So don't half gangster this shit, brother. Nobody, listen, we watched the Aaron Hernandez murder trial. We not scared of what you doing. Clap a nigga then. If you gangster, clap him. All of this shit is half oh, I'm a gangster, but I'm a baller. No, nigga. Somebody said L advice. The nigga want to be gangster and he want to be a basketball player. All I'm just saying, I remember watching a tight end. And he was a fucking great tight end. People said he was probably, I think was it him and, was Gronk on the team at the time? Fucking great tight end, Aaron Hernandez. But you know where he was better at? In the streets. He was better in the streets. But he wasn't playing with it. He wasn't trolling. What Ja Morant is doing is some Gilbert Arenas shit. Y'all niggas not about to do nothing. Aaron Hernandez, if he had a problem with a nigga, that nigga's dead. I'm going to keep it a bean. If you're not going to be the best basketball player, at least be the best basketball gangster. Gilbert Arenas brought his guns to the locker room. You got your man's pointing the gun. That's not gangster. Listen, I know some of y'all want me to. Let me tell you this. You get certain people who get caught up in a lifestyle. I'm not here to tell him not to be gangster. Be gangster. The fuck? You getting, supposedly they said he got a $200 million contract. Nigga, be gangster if you want to be gangster. Just really be gangster. Because the gangsters we watched, they were really being gangster. After we done seen Aaron Hernandez, we don't want to watch none of y'all y'all pussyfooting around, man. Why y'all pointing the gun if you're not shooting it? Aaron Hernandez, listen, I can't respect what y'all doing because we seen Aaron Hernandez already. Y'all not rewriting the wheel. Y'all see my boy with the Glock? Come on, man. Nigga was in practice. They say, yo, Tom Brady, you about to throw a bullet? He looked over like, I throw bullets too. That's my boy. That's my boy. I said, damn, Tom Brady threw a bullet. That nigga said, yo, no, I threw some bullets at some ops last night too. This is why I'm trying to tell my man, I like John Moran, but bro, just do your job, bro. You not this nigga, bro. You're not this guy. You're not this guy. You're not him. So you either gonna go out like him or just fucking play basketball. Because in reality, there's been a lot of gangsters who have played and just don't make it a spectacle. Like, if we only seeing or hearing about gangster shit you're doing or wanna be gangster shit while you at the field of play, it's probably some cap about it. Aaron Hernandez was killing niggas in his hood. Killing niggas after the club. Killing his mans. You know who they also said was gangster? And this is why I said, I just want that nigga, either crash out, nigga, hurry up and crash out, or fucking play basketball. You know who they said was a real gangster too? And he was the quietest nigga in the league. Y'all know who I'm gonna talk about. Marvin Harrison. Look up Marvin Harrison shooting. Marvin Harrison was the most quiet nigga in the whole NFL. What you hear about him? With the shits, nigga.
The memorabilia when you've got the man himself.
Yo, if you ever, let me show you a Marvin Harrison interview. Bro, he never even tried to be gangster on the field. Bro, because he was playing football. Like, how you gonna try to be gangster while playing, like, doing your job? Marvin Harrison interview. Very timid, bro. I only get one while he was playing. Post game. Let's go get a post game interview. This nigga was so fucking quiet, man.
Jim Harbaugh's
a young man named Peyton Manning first from 2000.
Worried about what the next play is going to be, because the game's on the line. I want to score touchdowns. I want to compete. I want to get a lot of yards. So that was always my focus. So I don't think.
Yeah, man. I don't know if y'all hear the word on this nigga.
Odds are good that if you go to Playmakers on a weekend, you'll see Marvin Harrison adjusting the thermostat, checking the taps, and peering out the front door. Or if you're Dwight Dixon, you get to watch him pat you down and pat your friend down and lay a hand on something gun-shaped and concealed on your friend's person and tell you both to get lost. Dixon was extremely fat, so fat that small-scale cops knew that Pop was lying. They told him he'd better come clean. Pop grinned and told him to f*** off. Seemed to know that they were coming. He was just hands. Marvin Harrison would later on go and answer questions down at the Central Detectives Division for an hour and answer in 2006 or 2007. Question, where do you store this weapon? Answer, he says that the gun hasn't been fired since 2006 or 2000 on the stock.
Anyway, man, I don't want to bore you out with the details, but Marvin Harrison, man, he was getting shot at and shooting niggas, allegedly. It's in the papers. But when he was playing, he always seemed like the nicest nigga on earth. Because why try to be gangster with the niggas who showed up to do the same job as you? Catch footballs. If what's that nigga name? If John Moran is gangster, he should be in the streets shooting at the ops. Your ops can be basketball players. It can be. Like, bro, it can be. It can't be. Like, we just can't, like, we just gonna look at it and be like, yo, bro, your ops is the other team. Like, come on, dog. Aaron Hernandez was never. Shout out to the boy, Big Aaron, man. Aaron kept it in the streets. I say that, man. Listen, you can't, the niggas, yo, Do you think that motherfucking and by the way, I'm not wishing that something happened to him. But bro, let me tell you this. When it comes to these star athletes, man, sometimes you gotta be like, yo, bro, just pick your destiny, my nigga. Do you want to be like, do you want to correct your path like Allen Iverson? Because I think Allen Iverson was kind of on that a little bit too at first. You want to correct your path, you want to crash out, man. If you want to crash out, you're Michael Jordan going to be Aaron Hernandez. At least try to beat that. If not, nigga, keep dribbling the basketball, nigga, and try to get a fucking ring. Anyway, salute to that boy. Somebody said Aaron crashed out. Somebody said when you're a professional athlete, the other team is literally your ops. Bro, you're playing a game. Like, hey, yo, did you see that interview with Russ? The nigga was saying the game was fun or some dumb shit like that. He was like, yo, oh, the game was fun recently. Like, LeBron was tight as hell, nigga. They interviewed Russell Westbrook. He said, oh, that shit was fun. He said, we played a good game. It was fun. Like, Russell Westbrook, he knows no matter what happened, he's getting paid $44 million, my nigga. They ain't your ops. They ain't your ops, bro. The other team can't be your ops when you're going home getting paid $44 million. Anyway. Somebody said DeRozan got bodies. Nah. Somebody said this guy act trying to say do something he wouldn't do. You're not qualified to say that. No, you're not getting what I'm saying, dummy. We're watching you play basketball. We're not trying to watch you be gangster. If you want to go be gangster, go do gangster shit. Like, stop trying to be gangster while we're watching ESPN, nigga. It's owned by Disney, nigga. We don't want to see you get tough. We don't want to see your niggas act like they the killers, bruh. We don't want to hear about that when it comes to basketball. If you gangster, nigga, go make another type of news. If you trying to get in the media, we shouldn't be talking about this when it comes to sports. That shit don't matter on the field. I'm just trying to tell him because you can't stop a nigga from, like, some of these niggas really want to just be gangster. Go be gangster on the 7 o'clock news. If a nigga want to crash out, let him crash. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Y'all like it. Y'all like him. That's why. I'm getting too much street vibes when it's just in basketball, man. Like, come on, stop it. All right. Somebody said the morgue defrozen. What are y'all talking about? All right. Anyway, we're going to keep it going. I do like him, though. I do think, like, you know, he listened to Young Boy and probably think he the modern Allen Iverson. You feel me? Okay. Let me see what else been going on. I'm just kind of scrolling down here. We still got to talk about this. As a matter of fact, maybe I should get to it next, but let me see what else I'm missing. Look how the nigga tweet. I ain't acrobatic. I ain't flipping on my bros. This nigga must swear he in a gang. Nigga, the only gang you're in is in the Memphis Grizzlies, nigga. Okay. We got the X shit we're about to get to. Anything else? Oh, the 6ix9ine shit. This is interesting. So apparently 6ix9ine got into an alleged altercation or ran down on. That's what everybody keeps saying. Ran down on Anuel's brother. Don't know how his brother looked, but this is the video that kind of came out. Let's see. By the way, if anybody's Spanish, give me the translation, okay?
Nigga, I'm like that. Cuidado, vete en tu claro. Tú no entras al club, Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Tú no entras al club, te lo juro. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Nigga, I'm like that. Cuidado, vete en tu claro. Tú no entras al club, Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Tú no entras al club, te lo juro. I don't give a fuck, nigga.
Chat, what is he saying? What is he saying, chat? It says, be careful. It said, careful, careful. Go to your car. It says, you ain't coming in the club. He says, you're not getting in the club. So 6ix9ine is telling him he can't get in the club. So 6ix9ine is like the bouncer. Holy shit.
Nigga, I'm like that. Cuidado, vete en tu carro. Tú no entras al club, tú no entras al club.
Now, Annual actually responded, actually. Let me show y'all. Annual responded. And y'all gonna have to translate this for me, too. He says, en las noticias pueden manipular y decir lo que quieren decir donde sea. La realidad es solo una y los hechos son los hechos. He says, los emoji son por la canción. What is he saying? What is he saying, chat? I could call 6ix9ine. That's a good one. You want to call 6ix9ine? Let me call 6ix9ine. That was actually a good idea, chat. Y'all are really good. Give me 1 second, chat. Did I miss his call? Oh, here he goes. Let's see what this was about. I didn't call him yet, honestly, too. And no, he didn't send this to me. I don't even know where this came from. I want to tell him to be careful because all right. He'll call me back if anything. Yeah, no, me personally, I want to tell 6ix9ine to be careful. I don't know how the situation played out. I don't know what happened before. Y'all are telling me what supposedly happened. Apparently, he's saying to somebody, "You're not getting in the club," whatever the case is. They're saying it's Annual's brother. I don't know. When I interviewed with Annual, that was also in Florida. I could tell you that nigga had at least 30 niggas with him, man. The nigga brought a tank. I didn't even know them shits was legal on the street. Nigga brought a military tank. You feel me? So, he was moving pretty militant. It also looked like he had a very strong, I don't know if you want to call it a team, but people were rocking with him. All right? And without saying too much, I want to say that I hope these dudes, I get it. People 6ix9ine snitch, whatever the case is. My nigga, here's the reality of it. And I'm glad this whole gunning thing is happening because we're going to get to this point. Bro, unless 6ix9ine snitched on you unprovoked, you're not going to do nothing to him, right? Now, obviously, if he gets into it with you, that might be a situation. I think But where these guys be moving around in the circles, I'm not trying to say where they move around at. Everybody could coexist, and I think everybody should just like leave everybody alone, because when you do things like this and you're all around the same area, what happens is people then say, all right, if this is for the internet or for whatever, I'm going to up the ante and try to get one up on you. And then I'm telling you, the people who are going to be doing things, whether it's going to be in this video or not another video, it ain't going to be the star. It won't be Anwell. It won't be motherfucking Tekashi. It's going to be another nigga who was probably on payroll or probably just rolling because they enjoy all the benefits and they're down to crash out. 6ix9ine got a lot to motherfucking lose. He's on federal parole. He cannot have contacts with the police. He should know, hey, listen, man, unless somebody's trying to, do damage or hurt you because you're a quote-unquote snitch, you can't fight every battle. If this guy didn't want to do music with you like a couple of years ago, it's over, bro. Like, you just got to let it go, right? If not, and by the way, here's the thing, especially for him, he doesn't think like this, but, I'm telling you how I wish he thought. Man, you don't have to be everywhere, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to prove a point. There's no point to prove. This video came out, and, I don't even know who looks good in it. Y'all saying that it's 6ix9ine telling him not to get in, they can't come in the club. No matter what 6ix9ine does, like, he's not going to get no props from y'all. Like, y'all won't be like, oh, man, he's being gangster. Y'all won't ever do it. So, like, what's the point? What's the point? That's if you ask me. So I would wish these things kind of don't happen. And also the places they move around is just kind of very, very, very small, right? Somebody said YouTube chat better than Twitch chat. I see FLN. Somebody says, what happened to let him crash out? Well, I can't decide if 6ix9ine crashes out. I'm a friend. And if I was a friend of John Morant, I would tell that nigga, stop the bullshit. But I don't know John Morant. He's acting like he want to be gangster. Just like you probably say, well, 6ix9ine's acting like he want to be, he's like that. That's what he keeps saying. I'm pretty sure in your mind, you're just saying, this is why he can't win, right? In your mind, you're probably saying, well, nigga, show us you like that. You know how he gonna show y'all? By going to jail, right? That's just how shit goes. I don't know, John Morant. All right, nigga, you keep tweeting like, nigga, tweeting out little baby lyrics like you think you gang. All right, nigga, well, the only way to show us, you got to really crash out. It's crashing out time. The gangsters crash out. When I try to warn 6ix9ine and people like that, like, all right, maybe some people would be like, oh, yeah, well, you know what, damn, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to, oh, he a snitch. There's probably police around here. There's going to be somebody that said, man, fuck it. I don't give a fuck who's around here, nigga. Yeah, anyway. One thing about, and well, like from a couple of years ago, it looked like he lost a lot of weight. I think he got a trainer. I know he lives in I don't want to give away where he lives at, but like, look like he been putting in work, man. Salute to that guy. So by the way, he was very nice to me, very hospitable, very, very cool, very cool. That's the first time I met him when I interviewed him. He was nothing but nice. Even after we did the interview, he messaged me thanking me for the interview. Like, I believe, I think Drake followed him or something like that. And he even told me, he's like, he followed me because of that interview. And I was like, wow, I'm pretty, I was humbled that it probably not true. Like, who knows? Or maybe it was true. Who knows? But he's just like, he was just like, I know your platform is moving waves. That's why I did this shit with you. And that's what the interview did. Good looks. Thank you, brother. And I was like, damn, he's pretty humble. Like, he's one of the biggest artists. Like, probably he's number 2 to Bad Bunny, I guess. One of the biggest artists. And he was super humble. You know what I mean? No ego, none of that. So, obviously I only met him for that one time, but like, he seemed pretty cool to me. Unfortunately, if you ask me, I think what's happening here is that, and this is just what I've heard, Anwell is a dude who's known as a street artist, from Puerto Rico. He obviously did a successful song with 6ix9ine in the past. But he's a guy who's very entrenched in the streets. He did time in jail. Apparently his brother's in jail. And he couldn't really associate with 6ix9ine again because of the jail shit. You know what I mean? He being a street artist and 6ix9ine doing what he did. And, bro, what do you want him to do? Go against the streets just to say he's cool with you? Like, there's a lot of artists who kind of, like, fell back. It is what it is. So, Now, granted, it is a little bit deeper than that because there was a song involved in, apparently Anuel may have done the song, but then didn't want the song to come out because, like, some other stuff and whatever, man. All right, people. Damn, okay. Well, that happened. Yeah, 6ix9ine got a show, man. Because I also tell them, I'm like, yo, not everybody's going to react like Meek Mill. And whatever. Like, there's some of these artists, bro, they bring around the crash dummy with them. Like, they bring the crash dummy with them around. All right. Let me see what else before we get into this X stuff. Oh, shit, we should talk about this. Hey, so apparently Leonardo DiCaprio got a new girlfriend. There's a whole thing like that's been trending for like mad long. They said Leo only dates girls under 25. Once you hit 25, essentially your contract's up. You're not fucking with no girl over 25. Apparently, there was a chart. It was mad hilarious. I want to search them on Twitter because Twitter be having a lot of porn. Let me go to Google. Leonardo DiCaprio dating history. There was like a chart. Let me see if I can find it. It just show. Oh, right here. It's my boy Leo right here, man. Let me try to get this a little bit bigger. So, okay. So apparently this is Leo's age up here. And this is the girls he dates. So when he's 24, he dated an 18-year-old. When he was 25, he dated a 19-year-old. When he's 26, he dated a 20-year-old, 27, a 21, 28, 22, 29, 23. Then when he hits 30, he gets a 20-year-old. He starts all over again. This thing's a G. Then he gets a 31. He gets a 21-year-old, 32, 22-year-old, 33. He gets a 23-year-old, 34. It's probably the same person right here, honestly, because they're aging with him. 34, 24-year-old, and then 25 hits. So he hits 35. His shorty hits 25. Get rid of her. Then when he's 36, he gets a 23-year-old, right? Then when he's 37, he gets a 22-year-old. Like, he's going down now. When he's 38, he gets a 20-year-old. When he's 39, he gets a 21-year-old. When he's 40, oh, yeah, he got a 25-year-old, but, she probably on like a 4-month contract because she was already 25. Then 41, he got a 24-year-old. Then she turned 25 in when he was 42. He dumped her. Then he dated in 2022 a 20-year-old, and then he dated, then she became 21. But here's a new thing. I don't know how old he is now. Sorry. I don't know how old is, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. Not DiCaprio. Oh, now they trying to say he's not dating her. Man, our boy is probably doing it. Anyway, the report they put out, which came out through, I believe, Daily Mail today, they were trying to say my boy Leo. Hold on. Where the fuck? They were saying my boy Leo was 48 and dating a 19-year-old. You get what I mean? Now, a lot of people were just saying, yo, bruv, like, this is crossing the line. How are you dating a 19-year-old woman and she's younger than, I don't know if y'all know, so if you're 19 this year, that mean you were born in what year, chat? That mean you were born in like 2004, right? If you're 19. If you're 19, you're born like in 2004, maybe 2003. So everybody was just like, yo, bro, Leo. When he did the movie Titanic, right? That dropped in 1997. So at max, if he's dating a 19-year-old girl now, if he's dating a 19-year-old girl, she was born in 2004, right? 2003. The movie Titanic he made, which he was already a grown man, was out in what was this? What year? 1997. So a good 6 years before she ever even seen planet Earth. So they're like, yo, bro, what's going on with you, gang? Now, I'm going to throw the question to you, and then I'm going to actually respond to it my damn self. So Leo dating a girl that's 19. Here's my general opinion about, male and women age and dating stuff. I think men always date younger, right? I think some people have certain type of metrics. Some people say 10 years is younger, right? I kid you not, the last girl I dealt with, she was like 23, right? 31 to 23. And then I ain't gonna lie, at times I kind of got frustrated too. I was just like, yo, bro, there's a little bit lack of emotional maturity. And I'm like, bro, maybe I gotta just start dating chicks that's like 26 or something like that. Because, bro, I don't know. Like, for me, I'm telling you from my experience. Like, bro, it gets frustrating when you feel like you're dealing with somebody who's just, like, they gotta grow. Right? But, of course, nobody wants, just to keep it real. And this is the shit that when I say this shit, they try to, cancel it. Right? They be like, oh, look what Axe said. Bro, if I'm, 31, 32, I don't want no chick that's 30. I'm sorry. Bruh, who? Bruh, come on, can we just keep it 100? You feel what I'm saying? So it's I think it's a balancing act, right? I think if I was supposed to date a 18-year-old, I think it would kind of look weird, right? Now, here's my thing. Are these people legal or they're not? So, for example, if the age is 21, which I think a lot of people make it 21. For me, I like a chick to be at least 21 because, I want to be drinking. I want you to be drinking too. But again, I'm commenting on other people. If someone's dating an 18-year-old, yeah, I said 18 was legal. Now, if it happens once, I'm inclined to be like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how that probably happened, whatever. With Leo, though, I'm going to keep it 100. With Leo, it looks like he don't fuck with older women. And when I mean older women, I'm not talking about women who are in their 40s. My boy don't even fuck with women who are getting to their prime. I think a girl, look-wise, and y'all tell me if I'm tweaking. Now, some of y'all are younger, very younger, so y'all might not understand what I believe a girl prime is and I'm talking about physically. I think a girl hits her prime physically between the ages of 25 to 30. They got a 5-year sweet spot where they're the baddest, it's hitting. Real talk. After 30, it's just getting a little bit, it's like basketball players. It's getting a little worse usually. You feel me? Even though basketball is usually about 32, 33. But if you get a girl before 25, ain't really all the way in their womanly body almost. You feel me? Somebody says 21 to 25 is prime. Nah, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. 20 is, bro, you gotta catch a chick 25, 26, that's their prime look-wise. But here's the thing, once you hit the prime, it's only down from there. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Some people want to get before the prime. Somebody said black women don't age that way. Somebody said 25 and up is too old. All right, how old are you? You got to say how old you are. Somebody says 48 and 19 is weird. All right, so this is what I'm saying about Leo. I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably give him a pass type shit if it just happened one time. But it's clear my man likes really younger chicks in that age range. My and I don't have an issue with it because it's not illegal, and I'm not gonna call him a creep. So don't, if you're waiting for me to call him a creep, I'm not. Yeah, either make the fucking thing illegal or not. But I am gonna say I kind of look at him, and I probably could sum up what type of guy he is. He probably wants a woman who, number one, is really wide eye. He probably, and this is why I give him a little credit for it, because if you ever deal with, I said to myself, yo, that shit that happened in Komodo where my chick is trying to fight another girl, but that's what happens when you date a 22-year-old, bro. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like she doesn't even understand the fucking world you're in. Like, you're in a world thinking about career. She's like, yo, this bitch wanted your number. I'm going to beat her ass. You get what I mean? So it's like, I give Leo a little bit of credit in the sense that we've never seen no messy shit that kind of happens when you deal with younger women, because emotionally, they don't have everything intact. The most emotionally stable women I've ever dealt with or dated have actually been women over 30. I'm gonna be honest. I've dated probably 2 to 3 women older than me, and emotionally they got it. Like they were more able to reason with, right? Because they thought closer to like how I thought, the big picture. Okay, whatever. They understood. Hey, listen, I know you a dude. I know you probably gonna fuck other bitches. Like, I'm not gonna like act like I'm dying if some shit, like, they were more emotionally like whatever. But here, the only thing which, like, it's hard having this conversation about age, because women check out, no matter how old a woman is, especially the older she is, actually, she might be more emotionally stable. But if you talk about age, she becomes more emotionally immature, because women realize that their beauty and their age is two things that really, kind of establish their market value in a sexual marketplace. And you ever talk to a woman and say that, yo, like, say you're 28 and you're like, oh, yo, I'm dating a 21-year-old. The first thing a woman who's 27 is going to say, ew, that's nasty. I promise you, I swear. If you're 28 and you tell your 27-year-old friend, that's a woman, that you're dating a 21-year-old girl, she says, ew, that's nasty. Instantly. By the way, here's the funny thing, like the reverse psychology about it. When she was 21, she don't even want no nigga that's 21. You know why? A nigga that's 21 got bills, probably still in school, still live with his mama. She want the nigga who's 28. So women have a weird way of, it's just self-survival. When they start shaming you for like your preferences in women when it comes to age, right? It's usually them saying, yo, well, if we only date older, and the older dudes or dudes of our same age is going for younger, our dating preferences or dating, pool becomes thinner, so we have to shame you. That's honestly what it is. Somebody says, if he has teenagers, you hope he doesn't have it. Yeah, I do think, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's a little bit odd, but I can't call him like a creep, or I can't call him anything that he's even would make it seem like, yo, he's on some like R. Kelly attracted to kids, like pedophilia type shit. Bro, this would have probably been the youngest girl he's dated, 19, right? Again, odd, yeah. I'm giving odd, yeah. His body, his choice. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what people want you to say about this type of shit. Let me tell you this. Nobody cares about age more than a girl that's 30. When a woman is 30, she has, let me tell you this. You know why women are more understanding when they hit 30? They have to be. They have emotionally and physically hit the wall. Niggas done ran through them. Niggas done lied to them about it. They gonna put a baby in them, get married to them. Niggas have gotten their way. They've given a pussy up to all type of niggas who are undeserving. Now they hit 30. It's like they're now like, okay, I understand more how to keep a man. But now those same men ain't looking at me. Somebody says 30 is still young. 30 is still young for all human beings, but when it comes to starting a relationship and how women view it, it's old. Because number one, there's still a stigma where people believe that if you are a 30-year-old woman, you have a very finite window that you can have kids. And I know some of y'all are young, so like when you think about dealing with a woman, you don't think about age. And you don't think about the biological clock. But like these days, if a woman doesn't have kids before like 33, 34, it could be some type of way. So like when women are 30 and they start dating, they're not just dating to say who could fuck me next and who's going to treat me good to a date. They're saying who's going to be possibly the father of my child and maybe a husband. Usually around the 30s, if they've never been married before, they're saying this is my last chance at marriage. So, you know, I always say when you're dealing with girls that's over 30, of course, you should fuck with them. But you can't waste time with them. Like, you know what I mean? What Leo seems like is a nigga who's just wasting girls' time, right? So, like, he gets a girl that's 20, 21. If you waste her time for 4 years, she's just, like, she'll be fine. Like, she still has a whole time to go find another guy. Maybe that's why they don't expose him. Somebody said he's on the Jeffrey Epstein list. Somebody says men have a biological clock. Where? Where's this clock? There is no biological clock. Let me tell you this. Men reach their peak at about between 35 and 40. Because a man's peak, honestly, really isn't based on physical appearance. Once you get past 26, actually, let me just say, once you get past 27, 28, you're going to be way more attractive to women than you've ever been. And it's not off of what you thought you were attractive to women for when you're 21. When you're 21, you think you jumping out the gym, you're running 20 miles, you got a 10-pack, whatever the case is. The older you get, you realize these chicks start liking you because you're stable. You're financially successful. You got shit going on. It's different for dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think women aren't passing up on younger dudes to date older to be like, oh yeah, he just looks sexier. No, they're like, no, this guy got his shit together. He drives a fucking Benz. This nigga got on a fucking Cartier glasses and a fucking, like, you know what I mean, plain Jane AP on the wrist. We know he got some money. I want to deal with him. When you're 21, a chick is just going to look at you like, yo, you the track star. She's hoping you fuck her like a racehorse. That's it. But she knows you can't really do nothing else for her. So when you get older, you kind of start realizing what shit is, and you realize that your financial peak is, as long as your body ain't deteriorating too crazy, your financial peak is your true peak. So you couple that with, you know what I mean, hopefully, say you look the best at, you know, put it like this. The best I ever looked in my life was at 19, but I had no money. Ask me now if I could get more girls now than then. So what do they care about? Do they care about when I was in the best physical condition, or do they care about when now, okay, great, all right, nigga, you ain't 300 pounds yet, nigga, right? But nigga, you got, like, you're financially, it's different for men and women. So men honestly do peak like around 35. Truth be told. Like, I know it's gonna be tough for y'all, but like that's really what it is. And I'm older than some of y'all, so I'm giving you even not only, no, I don't want to call it game, but like I'm giving you knowledge not only from what you might be like, oh, I've heard this from some other people. I'm seeing it now. Yo, there's some of the most beautiful women that I would have had zero fucking chance at, like in high school. You feel me? Zero chance. Like, they were just so beautiful. I'm just like, whatever. I look at those women now, they're in their 30s. The guy who they get married to now, you're like, oh hell, wait, she's getting married to him and I couldn't fuck back then? Of course. She's like, she found a nigga with a nice job, nice big house, and 2 cars, my nigga, and she's like, that's my man now. Back in high school and college, no, nigga, she wants the fucking dude who's the quarterback. She wants a dude who broke all the records in track, cross country and shit like that, my nigga. Yo, there's a chick that right now, I swear, and I want to say it to her, but like I think she knows it because I remember thinking, and it's the only reason why I was still friends with her. Like she's on my Facebook low key, and I remember saying, "Yo, this bitch is so fucking bad." Yo, every time I saw her in the hallway in high school, my dick was rock hard, nigga. I was bricked up, nigga. I might have, nigga, like I don't even know if I could breathe, nigga. I always said, damn, this chick is gonna, like, she could get any nigga she wanted, right? But of course, you know, she stayed local, this and third. Probably dated a couple wrong dudes who probably fucked her over, this and third. She still looks pretty good. She's 30. My nigga. She just got married. The dude who she got married to, bro, she wouldn't even think about, nigga, in college or high school, bro. Never. Y'all won't understand that because, you know, a lot of y'all are younger, so like you watching a girl mentally mature is a very beautiful thing because you realize their wants and needs and priorities change right in front of you. So that's what I'm saying. For all you dudes, I think 35 is your peak. I think for women, between I won't even say, I would probably say, I don't want to say 25. I want to say 26 is your peak. For men, 35 to 40. For women, 25 to 30. Somebody said I'm saying whatever. You believe that? $9V3, one of them says, yo, man, you want a shallow woman? I've been married for 10 years. This is not the key. So this looks like it's one of our chat queens in here. So I don't know the point you were trying to make, but I think I'm making a very fair point. Women's attraction metrics change over time. I think with men, we usually keep the same attraction metrics, right? Like for think about Leo. Leo, no matter if it's 48, he just wants the hot bitch with a tight ass. He's not getting to 48 and be like, okay, I want a girl that, you know what I mean, could like, you know, mentally challenge me and build with me and, you know, somebody who's well-traveled and could speak 4 different languages. He wants somebody who could take some dick and then runs in the other room and does TikTok dance to hey, like the little Uzi song. Like, man, I'm sorry. That's what he wants. He wants the same shit he wanted now that he wanted at 25. A hot bitch who would take dick and shut up. Like, again, I'm using an example, but you just tell me. Somebody said this is industry thinking. No, it's not. Bro, no, it's not. If you think that's industry thinking, you haven't gotten old enough yet. If you think that's industry thinking, that's you. Okay, I'm glad y'all said that because y'all say, no, this is like, you just tell them what rich niggas want. Cat, brother. My brother's about my second brother, he's about like 34. Got a nice job, whatever. Now you do got a girlfriend, but shit. He's more attractive to more younger women because here's the thing what I'm trying to tell you. Women don't like to date their own age till they get old. Remember that. Women don't like to date men their own age. Think about the girl in high school. I remember there was this one chick, I was bricked up every time I saw her too. Until later on, I ain't gonna lie, it was the ultimate like karma. I don't know if it's karma necessarily, but I remember bitch was on the stripper pole. But anyway, she was the baddest, one of the best. Probably like, gotta be on like my top 3. Baddest chick in school. Bro, she would always shit on not just me. She would shit on everybody. We're in the same grade. She would shit on everybody. When we were in middle school, she would shit on us saying she dating a nigga from high school. When we're a freshman with her in high school, she would shit on us and saying, yo, I'm dating a senior. When we're a sophomore, she would shit on us and say her nigga gonna come pick her up from school with a car while we walking home or taking a bus. Women are not trying to date the nigga who like, oh, who's in the same class with them, like fucking blowing spitballs. Like, brother, we gotta just be honest, right? It's not about money necessarily. It's just like it's just how it's been when it comes to men and women, right? Think about it. How many freshman girls who are very attractive go date the nigga who's a senior? Just they're attracted by nature to older men. And that happens from early without money being involved. But sometimes it manifests itself into status and all that type of stuff. I'm telling you the truth. I'm just telling you. So put it like this. Put it like this. And here's the thing too, because I keep saying money, like, oh no, this is like some celebrity shit you're explaining. I went to high school, my nigga. So like, I went to high school. Maybe some of you in high school. Maybe some of you just passed high school. Bro, how many bitches did you know in high school that would brag to you or try to stun on you? Like, say you were in the same grade with them. She would tell you that her man don't even go to the school and that her man gonna come pick her up in a car. You don't got a car because you walk. You're in fucking high school, my nigga. Like, we're not that privileged, right? She's stunting on you that her man got a car. So hoopty, but it's still a car. He pimped it out. He got a little system in there. You know what I mean? It's like a Civic. Who cares what it is, my nigga? But that's the thing she's stunting on you with, to basically saying you don't qualify for her. That happens, my nigga. That happens. The bitch who was dating the nigga who didn't go to the school, but the dude always came to pick her up in the car, was flexing. It happened. So again, all I'm trying to say is that women's, what they happen to want in men is a maturation process for them. With men, we're really simple and really just kind of remedial. Give us the hottest girl that, like, us men, we're always just trying to work to get to the hottest girl we could get to. And a lot of times, even when men like us get in relationships, we're just wifing the baddest or the best candidate we could get. That's why some of us get into fucked up relationships, right? Like, I remember I was dating this one girl in college. This girl was so good, man. Like, she used to cook all my, like, Jamaican food. She was a Haitian chick. She was, like, so, like, she had all the qualities of wifey, right? But she had a fat ass, too. I can't cap. You know she Haitian. But facial-wise, she just wasn't pretty. Nah, there was this motherfucking, there was this Egyptian girl, very pretty facially, this and third. Couldn't cook a lick, this and third. But you know what I'm thinking? Yo, my boys, when I pop out with the bad chick, I'm getting some props. This other chick is doing my laundry, cooking for me, but I'm in college, my nigga. Like, who the fuck gives a fuck about you cooking? I'm going to the cafeteria anyway. Of course I took the bad bitch. She was which obviously in hindsight was horrible. It was probably the worst decision ever. But you wanted to, like us men, we're so physical. We just wanted to have the bad bitch in our arm. That's it. Like, a woman will, I'm not sure if that point of their lives, but a woman will start thinking about shit. Well, yeah, okay, maybe he physically looks better, but this nigga's broke and he's not doing anything. He's just selling drugs. This other guy right here, whatever, but like he's doing, like, women will reason. Us, fuck no. Like, yo, we're not taking an ugly bitch over a bad bitch no matter what. Same thing with Leo, my nigga. Like, you think Leo about to get an old wrinkly chick that's 40 plus? It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna lie. Leo's about to, like, in everybody's definition, he's gonna look like a creep. You know why? Bro, the nigga is, you think he's, bro, every chick he's been fucking, look at the fucking chart, my nigga. He's been dealing with tight pussy skin, all like, bro, he don't want to deal with no bitch with no wrinkles, none of that shit, my nigga. Fuck that. And also, too, because every man got to get over this. Well, at least I think I had to. I still ain't even over it. Leo is probably a nigga who don't even date women with kids. That's the mental block I realize niggas got to get over. Like, sometimes dudes will age enough where they're like, yo, for any good girl I'm going to get, she might have a kid, I have to accept it. When you're young enough and you feel like it's still viable enough, you're not doing no bitch with a fucking kid, my nigga. Tell that bitch to kick rocks after you fuck her. Just being honest with you. Look at my boy Leo, man. Like, yo. Anyway, yo, yeah, Leo, brother, man. I don't even know what to say. Nah, this chart is a little wild, though. But I'm going to keep it real, though. Here's the thing. And I don't give a fuck what y'all say. The chart, and you know what's so funny? Remember when they were trying to, like, you know, they were trying to cancel Big Act? They were like, oh, act like kids. Like, bro, I never said nothing like that ever in my life, right? But they were trying to, like, paint that picture when I was really talking about Tyga and I was talking about Kylie Jenner, right? Now, here's the thing with that whole thing, right? And you know, I sat back and thought about it for a quick second, and I'm like, man, they really tried to, like, get me out of the paint for some shit and try to paint me as something that I wasn't. But I was like, you know, honestly, that did kind of go away. You know, I do think it went away. Number one, it was fucking false, and they were like, they've been grasping for straws. I always tell people around me, anytime they can find something to try to get me out of here, they're always gonna try, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like, bro, the recent shit was like, yo, he got hit in the face with an egg. Like, okay, who the fuck cares? I'm still here, my nigga, right? But what I say is that what I realized with that shit when they were talking about that, when they were like, oh, I had these comments like 9 years ago about ages and whatever, right? Like, I'll repeat even what I basically was trying to say. Essentially, I was just like, yo, listen, when people go to college, people assume that everybody's of age, right? Like, nobody's trying to be a pedophile. Nobody really wants to be with kids, right? People just assume this is like, if you ever lived on a college campus, you think it's a social circle where everybody's whatever, right? And I was using that as a comparison to, I said, maybe that's the Tyga and Kylie thing in a sense, right? And maybe it's not that bad, right? Again, Tyga's not taking no fucking flack for it, at least not no more. But you know, I realized everybody had to, like, fucking let it go and move on, right? Because number one, that wasn't I'm not on that, number one. But number two, here's the thing. Y'all over here getting at Leo, but, like, how old is Jay-Z? How old is Jay-Z? Like, Jay-Z is 53 years old. By the way, I want y'all to Google this. Who dated Aaliyah? I want you to go to here, right? She was 22 years of age when she died, right? Okay? When did she die? I want to make sure I figure out when she died. She died in 2001, right? Wait, did she? Man, let me do the Googles on this. Because without me saying it, man. All I know, you know, I think niggas have to just stop talking about that type of shit, because we should really start.
Aaliyah kept going back, forth and forth between the men in her life. Or maybe it was the men around her that kept going back and forth with each other.
Everybody knows about the R. Kelly and Aaliyah shit. Aaliyah was underage. But you know, without me saying too much, was R. Kelly the only nigga who was fucking with her underage? Yes or no? Russell Simmons, who had jumped out, told about some bullshit before. Russell Simmons dating, he had like a 17-year-old bitch at one point. Y'all remember that? Look, Russell Simmons defended dating Kimora Lee. She was legal 17, but she turned that whatever. How old was he? The nigga was like 35. Look, let me show you. 35. I'm telling you, see these hip hop niggas is all about, you know, they try to keep some smoke for some niggas like that they don't like. But if y'all want to talk about Jay-Z and the niggas, see, I ain't gonna talk about it because, you know, I got some shit going on, and I mean shit going on. I don't want all my deals canceled and shit like that. But This is the reason why these type of conversations are usually. Russell forgot whatever. He happily admits she was legal at 17. Forgot to mention at the time he was 35. He was 35. He was dating a 17-year-old. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the chart. Where my chart at, bro? Now we got to pull up the chart. Now we need the chart. We need the chart. Leonardo DiCaprio chart. We need the chart, bro. We need the chart. We need the chart. We need the chart. Here we go. We got the chart right here. Here we go. The chart right here. So when Russell was, I just gotta make sure we get it right, chat. I can't misquote this type of shit. This is according to Hip Hop Wired. He was 35. She was 17. Let me see. When my boy Leo was 35, he was dating a 25-year-old. Who worse? Who worse? You see, hip hop don't want to be talking about this type of shit. Hip hop don't want to talk about these type of shits. When Leo was 35, he dating a 23-year-old. No, right here. No, it's 25. When he was 35, was dating a 25-year-old. When Russell Simmons was 35, he dating a 17. I don't know about this one though. I don't think this is true. This is probably cap. Nah. He definitely did not date Beyonce at 16. That's wild. I just heard that Aaliyah was underage for most of them shits. All right, man, hold on. Shit, I gotta make sure I can see the bit. Oh, here this go. I'm gonna get off of this page because I ain't trying to get sued or nothing like that. Shout out to Hove, man. Shout out to my boy Hove. Yo, Wolf 44, thank you for the gifteds. Montro, thank you. Scum TK, I see you, my boy. Ron.com, what's popping with you? Nunes boy. Quad artist, I see you, man. Listen, I'm gonna just get off of this page. All I'm gonna just say is that, you see, when they was trying to pull them false allegations on Big Act, I was wondering, I said, man, I know that even though this shit false, they thought they had me. They thought. But I realized the powers that be, some of the Rock Nation niggas, nobody said nothing. And I'm like, wait, why? I started doing my Googles. I said, oh, they know Big Act was going to do his research and throw it right on their ass. Like, all right, the shit y'all said about me was cap, but let's talk about this. You know what I mean? Let me just move on. You know what I mean? Keep this shit moving. All right. All right, man. All right, people, should we get into the X thing right now? We probably should, man. Remember, I got to talk about this Beyonce bodyguard shit, man. We'll talk about that shit, too. Long crime, it's a long crime. Here we go.
Money.
Here we go. What the fuck? They don't put out the whole video? It was a long-ass video. Oh, I guess they edited it up and shit like that. It's all good. All right. Cool. Let's start. Wow. Let's start here. This is the prosecutor detailing what happened. We're going to play that goof lawyer too, so just remember, okay? Then we're going to talk about the Drake shit. Here we go. Hey, long live, just say on Freud. one of the most talented artists I believe that's ever entered music. A true, legend. Did more in his time than many people did in 5 lifetimes. So, we still weep, and we still mourn his death. But I'm very ecstatic to see justice, which I believe is about to get served, happen here. So let me just play this.
You're going to hear testimony and you're going to see evidence about 5 lives. 5 lives that converged on June 18th of 2018, costing the victim in this case, Jose Onfroy, his life. The other 4 lives that you're going to hear about are Dietrich Williams, who's on the end over there with the bow tie. You're going to hear about Trayvon Newsom, who's in the middle in gray. And you're going to hear about Michael Boatwright, who has on a turtleneck. You'll also hear about Robert Allen, who's not seated here today, but you'll hear directly from him. He'll testify. He's in custody, and he'll tell you about his...
He's snitching like a motherfucker, man. Salute to my boy Robert Allen, man. I think the ghosts of X started haunting that nigga, and he decided to tell the truth, man.
Role with respect to what happened and the planning and everything that happened with this homicide. Some of the evidence that you're going to hear first starts with the day before June 18th. The day before June 18th, on June 17th, around 8 o'clock at night, you're going to hear from Tanisha Clark. Tanisha Clark has a job, but makes side money by renting out her car through an app called Turo. You'll hear how Turo is kind of like an Airbnb, but for cars. A person can put their car on the app for rental, and someone on the other end can rent directly from the person who is renting their car through Turo. Tanisha Clark, you'll hear, doesn't know the defendants. She had no connection to this case other than her Dodge Journey. She got prepared for it to be rented for 1 day. And so when she rents her car, she is greeted by Tony Robinson. You'll hear how Tony Robinson was very close friends with the defendant, Dietrich Williams. She was so close to Dietrich, she actually referred to herself as his sister. They aren't related, but they refer to themselves, she refers to herself as his sister. And so Tony, who'd rented cars before for Dietrich and his friends, was asked to rent the car for 1 day. Not because you'll learn that the defendants wanted to go to Disney World or take some trip, but you'll learn through testimony that they wanted to be able to take the car, ride around, and rob people. That was their plan. And so Tony Robinson, when she rents out her car, is greeted by Michael Boatwright, who's on the end here, and is also greeted by Robert Allen, who you're going to hear from Robert Allen himself. They pick up the car, and by the next day, they are out riding around. And Robert Allen will tell you what the purpose was that they were all together, and he'll say that he was with all 3 co-defendants, and that together their plan was to be able to rob somebody that day, and that they had all of the things in preparation for that. They had firearms, they had masks, and they had the capability of doing it. And so on that day, they drive to Riva Motorsports, and the day that we're talking about is June 18th. On that same day, on June 18th, the morning of, before the homicide occurs, you're going to hear how Jose Onfroy, who is commonly referred to as xxxtentacion, woke up that morning, was woken up by his mom. You'll hear how he was a young celebrity rapper who gained his fame through a lot of his exposure through social media and downloads and things like that, and was very much a self-made artist who then rose up the ranks. He was wealthy as a result of his celebrity, and he also had a pregnant girlfriend who was pregnant with his first child. Jose that morning decided to go to the bank first. He lived out in Parkland and decided to go to Bank of America. You're going to see some surveillance from that, and you're going to hear from the teller who actually helped him at Bank of America because he was a regular customer. That morning, after going to the bank, his plan was to be able to go to Reba Motorsports. You're going to hear how he's also a regular customer at Reba Motorsports. And at Reba Motorsports, he intended on purchasing motorbikes, plural, possibly one or more, and that he'd done that before, and that was something that, he wanted to do for himself and his friends. On that particular day, that morning, when he went to the bank, his intention was to withdraw $250,000 in cash to be able to make the purchase later on at Reba Motorsports. The bank, you'll hear, did not have that amount on hand, and so they dispensed $50,000 to him from his account of his own money. You'll hear how later in the week, a few days later, he was slated to come back to the bank to collect the rest of the $200,000, and unfortunately, he never made it. What ends up happening after he leaves the bank, he puts the cash in what he often carried with him, which is a Louis Vuitton satchel. Also, you'll hear how his mother that day was concerned about him going to the Reba Motorsports by himself. She wanted him to be accompanied. A, because she knew, she'll tell you, that she expected for him to purchase some motorbikes and needed for him to ride back with someone to ride the motorbike and someone to be able to drive his car back, because obviously he couldn't do both. So she, you'll hear, asked a gentleman by the name of Leonard Kerr, who is related, not by blood, to the victim in that he is the uncle of Jose's younger brother. So Leonard Kerr accompanies Jose to Reba Motorsports. And Jose, you'll hear, is driving a very expensive car, a BMW i8, which we don't normally see on the road, so it's very easy to spot. It's a sports car that has butterfly doors and is very fast. And Jose himself, besides driving this very expensive sports car, is also very identifiable. Besides the fact that he's a celebrity, you'll get to see that at the time of his death, he also wore his hair in a hairstyle of blue dreadlocks. So it kind of stood out on top of everything else. And on that day, he traveled to Reba Motorsports unarmed with his, let's call him for lack of a better term, step-uncle, Leonard Kerr, to go purchase these motorbikes. And at that same time that Jose and Mr. Kerr are at Reba Motorsports, you'll hear how the four co-defendants in this case, the three of whom are on trial, traveled in the Dodge Journey to the same Reba Motorsports. And while two of the defendants, Robert Allen, who's going to testify, and Dietrich Williams, who's on the end with the bow tie, go inside the store to purchase neoprene masks, they spot Jose inside the store. And this is all captured on surveillance, so you'll be able to see this for yourself in addition to hearing testimony about it. And so when they spot Jose, who has the blue hair and he has a very expensive gold necklace on and his Louis Vuitton satchel, they immediately, Robert Allen and Dietrich Williams, start communicating to the two co-defendants, Trayvon Newsom and Michael Boatwright, who are still in the Dodge Journey waiting for them to come back to the car. And it's the communication, I'm not giving you exact words, but something to the effect of that they spot the victim who's inside Reba Motorsports. And they are automatically spotting the fact that he's a celebrity. And so when Dietrich Williams and Robert Allen go back to the vehicle, now all four co-defendants are in the vehicle and the actions are set in motion. You'll hear about the layout of the parking lot of Riva Motorsports. There's only 2 entrances and 1 exit. One of the 2 entrances is one way, and so you can't exit. And the second entrance is an exit and an entrance. And the entire Riva Motorsports has surveillance inside and out. And the parking lot is encased by a fence. And so they are able to position themselves just across the street, and you'll be able to see how the 4 co-defendants in the car, Dietrich Williams, who's driving, by the way, go across the street and back in their car and lie in wait for several minutes for the victim to come out. They're able to easily spot his car because there's no other car like it in the parking lot. And you'll hear how they lie in wait for the victim to come out to exit the only exit of that parking lot. And you'll hear also, more importantly, what the conversation is in the car as they get ready to rob the victim. Michael Boatwright puts on his mask. Trayvon Newsome also puts on a mask. They have hoodies. They arm themselves with firearms. Michael Boatwright gets a firearm. You'll hear how also Trayvon Newsome gets a firearm. Amongst the 4 of them, they decide who's going to jump out. You'll also get to see the differences between the 4, because you'll note that it's very important, the physical differences between the 4. Michael Boatwright is the tallest, skinniest out of the 4. Trayvon Newsome is next as far as height. And there's a big height difference between Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsome, and Dietrich Williams, who's the shortest and stocky build. You'll also be able to see that day, Dietrich Williams has tattoos. His nickname is actually Tattoo Chucky. And in addition to the fact that Dietrich Williams is very short in stature and stocky compared to the 2 gunmen, Robert Allen, you'll see, is also short, and he's also overweight. Significantly overweight, and more overweight than the 3 co-defendants that are sitting here before you. You'll note that there's a difference in their height, weight, stature, the way they walk, the gait, because as you look at the surveillance, you'll note and you'll hear testimony about who is who and how the difference between the 4 co-defendants of who did what. And so when there comes a point when you're looking at the surveillance and you see 2 tall gunmen jump out of the vehicle, you'll be able to note, I submit to you, that Trayvon Newsome is one of the gunmen and that Michael Boatwright is the other gunman. And so Dietrich Williams, driving, cuts off the victim as he's trying to exit Riva Motorsports. And as just like they planned, they're able to cut off the victim so that he can't move his car without either crashing it or whatever. And the 2 gunmen jump out and immediately put guns in the victim's face and in Leonard Kerr's face. You'll hear testimony about how Leonard Kerr was able to hear what the gunmen were saying to the victim. You'll also hear testimony about how Leonard Kerr ran for his life. And so as Jase is there, unarmed, in the driver's seat, surprised by the 2 gunmen in this case, you'll hear how they start struggling with him, punching him, and that both of the gunmen at one point are trying to get his property from him. They're able to wrestle away from him the satchel that had the $50,000 in cash. And without any provocation, without any type of weapons or anything being used by the victim, you'll hear how Michael Boatwright fires several times, killing the victim at close range. You'll also be able to see the surveillance that shows this. Immediately after the homicide, When they leave the victim there to die, the 4 of them leave the scene, and then they divvy up the spoils of their robbery.
I'm only playing this that you can kind of hear like the narrative on like kind of what happened, and we're gonna get to like some videos and shit like that.
You'll hear how the $50,000 is allocated between them. That found. So
Okay, all right, let's move on to this next one. I ain't gonna lie, chat. It is, I cover a lot of deaths and murders. Anytime it's with X, it's just always so tough for me to do, bro. I could cover the Nipsey shit, no problem. Young Dolph shit, no problem. When it come to X, it's just something just bothers me, man. It just fucks with me. Yeah. So, I believe this is the uncle that was like in the car, and they're gonna show the surveillance footage in a second, but I don't know if it's on this clip, but he was in the car with X, and when the dudes pulled up, he hopped out and he ran. And I don't know what you guys think about that either, but I do want to hear it.
On my way with her in the car, she told me that Jassy is at the bank. That's where we're gonna meet up.
Okay.
And she dropped me, leave me there. I wait until Jassy come. Me and Jassy headed, we drive out. On our way.
Let me ask you something real quick first. Did you go inside the branch?
I don't remember if I did win. After so long, I don't remember if I did go inside the bank.
Okay. To your best of your recollection, did you wait outside for Jassy?
I think so.
And how did you know what Jassy was even driving? Were you familiar with his car?
I know Jassy car.
Okay, what kind of car did Jassy have?
He did have a BMW.
What kind? Describe it if you don't know the model number or the model line.
Just a little, 2 little BMW car. He did have a black.
I'm sorry?
I'm about to take a piss.
Okay. When you say little, are you familiar with BMWs?
It's a small car. I don't know the model of it.
Okay. Was there anything distinct, for example, about the doors?
When the doors open, it flip up in the air.
Okay. So what some people commonly refer to as butterfly doors? They open up like almost like a wing-like fashion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was at the time in 2018, was it a newer model car or an older model car? Was it like a vintage antique or was it a newer model car?
For me, I would say that it's a newer model car because I don't really know them like that.
Okay. All right. And so you waited by the car for Jassy?
I think I wait outside.
And how long were you waiting outside?
I've been waiting for a while. Long one, maybe like about half hour, 45 minutes.
At some point, did Jassy come out?
When he come out, he was about to go to drive out. That's the time.
Okay. Who else is with you at this point? With you and Jassy?
Just me and Jassy.
So what do you do next?
I went in the car with him and we were driving.
Who was driving?
Jassy.
And what position in the car were you?
I was in the front seat.
Front seat passenger?
Yeah.
The type of car that is there any room for anybody to sit in the back?
I would have said there's no room inside that car because the seat is all the way back.
Okay. So is it a sports car? Is it a wagon? Tell us what kind.
I would say it's a sport car.
Okay. Now, from the bank, where did you go next?
To the bike shop.
Do you know what the name of the bike shop is?
Riva Motorsport.
I'm sorry?
Riva Motorsport.
At any point, did you know why or where you were going, first of all?
I didn't know where I was going until we actually reached there.
Why is that? How did you not know?
Because his mom just asked me to accompany him somewhere at the time.
Okay. And what about the conversation between you and Jose? Was it ever revealed to you where you were going on the drive there?
No, because we weren't talking like that on the way, like, you understand?
Okay. Once you arrive at Riva, what do you do next?
Jose was walking around looking on the bike, looking around. I was like behind Jose, just looking around on the bike as well, on the bikes inside.
Okay, were you with him the entire time when you went inside?
Yeah, I was beside him.
Okay. Do you remember what kind of bikes he was looking at?
Actually, he was looking at all the bikes inside, every bike that was inside.
At that point, were you aware why you were there?
I figured more or less that he was going to buy a bike at the time, because he was looking around on the bike, all the bikes.
Okay. Do you recall what, if anything, Jose had on him in terms of like any type of bag or anything like that?
Yeah, he have a Louis bag over his shoulder.
Okay, do you remember the color of the Louis bag?
It was like a black with the little.
The microphone is sensitive, so you'll have to be careful.
Okay.
Say it again?
It was a black, the little black shoulder bag that he have a Louis bag.
Okay.
Chat, this is hard. All right, I'm gonna try to. I know some of y'all just might not want to watch every single thing said by everybody. You kind of got the narrative. X decided he wanted to go buy a couple of bikes. Try to take out $250,000 out of the bank. This is kind of normal. Usually banks that I go to, sometimes they only give you like 30,000. His bank gave him 50. Probably said, "Yo, we got to order the rest." That sometimes could take a week or whatever the case is, or 2 weeks. Who knows? Or sometimes a couple of days, depending on when they get deliveries. So, yeah, it's a myth. Like if you could have 300 billion in the bank. If you go to a branch and just walk in, you're probably not leaving out with more than, let's say, $50,000. So he's trying to buy the bikes, obviously cash. He grabs it, puts it in a Louis bag, goes to the shit. His mom, who probably knows he's gonna do some shit like that, right? Tells his uncle to go with him, or his younger brother's uncle to go with him, and he's just going for the ride, right? And from what I'm hearing, it looks like just by the luck of the draw, by just the grace of God, sometimes we don't even know how lucky we are by like what we avoid by just timing and just like I always tell people, I'm like, yo, even if you're not religious, sometimes you gotta believe there's a higher power, because how the universe aligns itself, there could have been a million. If one variable is different in your life could have been over way long time ago, right? But it appears that the variables that day aligned in a way which just unexplainable. X going for a bike. These guys got a vehicle trying to rob a nigga. They go to the same place. Two dudes was already trying to get some shit because they want to drive around and rob people. They look and they said, "Oh shit, X is here." They tell the other dudes. The other dudes like, "Shit, we gotta rob him." They probably realized, I don't know. They realized, I don't know if, I think he had left. He had left, went, got the money. And, yeah. Anyway, all right. There's some videos and support and stuff that was in this situation. Let me see if I could, hold on. Actually, let me see if I could, okay, so he stands up eventually. Let me see what he's saying.
All right. Go ahead. This is a car.
What they were dressing at the time. After so long, I don't remember.
Okay. Was there anything covering their face?
That's the thing I can't remember.
Okay, so you don't recall if anything, what the two people looked like that jumped out of the car?
No, ma'am.
What, if anything, did they have in their hands?
All right. First and foremost, one of the guys taller than one. Okay? When they jump out of the car, I would say the shorter one go by Jesse's side. The taller one was at the front. He was, I can style?
May.
You may.
Okay, so you can stand up.
The taller one pulled to mine, to the
All right.
front.
Go ahead. This is the car.
Yeah.
Driver's seat, passenger seat, front of the car. Go ahead and show us what you want to
The
do.
taller one was like this. You don't come out the effing car. And he was like with a gun. You don't come out the effing car. The shorter one was at Jesse's side.
Come step down, please. How close was the taller one to the front of the car if these are the two front seats?
Right, that's the car. The taller one was like this. You don't come out the effing car. You stay in the car. You stay in the car. Don't come out the effing car. And I was like, you know?
Okay, so where were you seated out of these two seats?
I was in the passenger seat.
So I'm gonna sit in the passenger seat. This is where you were seated?
Yeah. And he was like, you don't come out the effing car. You stay in the car. Don't come out there. So I was like, but at that time I was like, I thought it was just somebody who knows Jesse, where they come out the car.
When you're saying, and I understand we're in court, you're saying effing car. Did he actually say effing car, or did he say you don't come out of the fucking car? What did he say?
He said don't come out the fucking car.
Okay. And who was he referring to when he said that?
He was talking to me.
Why was he saying that to you? What were you doing?
He was pointing the gun
He's not a Haitian. He's Jamaican. He has a Jamaican accent.
at me, and the next one was around to Jesse's side of the car. Deacon, give me the chain. Where's the chain? Give me the chain.
Who was saying that, and who was he saying it to?
Jesse, he was out digging Jesse back for a chain.
What was Jose doing in response to that? As one of the gunmen is trying to grab his chain.
I hear it was like, like you were saying, what is for?
Did at any point, or were you aware, did Jose even have any weapons or anything on him that you're aware of?
No, I didn't see him.
Did you? Were you armed?
No.
Okay, so tell us next then what happens.
Okay. After all that, I get the door open.
How?
I sit, I like move my leg like this.
Why don't you sit down and show us?
Okay. I was like this in the car. I keep my foot like, I was like, I started thinking. Because I was like, if I run, I maybe get a shot and I can live. But if I sit,
You need a moment?
okay, I open the car door. And when I open the car door, I get down. When I get down, I start to run. I run up back in the back to the shop. When I run back to the shop,
Before you go, you can please continue from the stand. And I'll just ask you just a few more questions before you continue. When you open the car door from your side and you were doing a motion with your right hand, is it automatic or is it like a manual lever that you have to open the car door?
once I touch the button, the car is free.
Okay, so you touch a button and it activates the door or doors?
One door, that's my door.
One door, okay. And once the door is activated and opened, you basically ran for your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall what happened as you're running?
Okay. I run and I keep running two sides of the road like this, going up with a bike shop. When I go there, I pick up my phone to make up to try to call the cops, and I was like, I see a man in the back, a man out there standing in the front. And he was like, don't call the cops, I'm on the phone with them right now, I'm giving them time, don't call the cops, I'm on the phone with them. So I just still take up my phone in my hand, and the first person I called after that, it was clear. And
Why did you call Cleo first?
Because the cops, someone already called in the cops, and I called Cleo because Cleo is the one who asked me to accompany Jase. So that's the first person come to my mind to call, his mom.
Now, at the point that you're calling Cleo, had anything else happened other than you exited the car for your life?
I ran and they were down there. The two men that could jump out the car was down there.
So you left Jase in the car and the two gunmen were still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see anything that happened to Jase, between Jase and the gunmen after that?
Okay. Before, when I run up there, up in the back, the taller guy, as I tell you, the taller guy went to run to Jase's side. The shorter one now come around to the door that I was, my door that I opened, and he go inside the car.
You saw that?
I see that because I was looking, when I run up there and saw some, the man that was on the phone, I keep looking down there. When I keep looking, I realize that the shorter one come around to my side. The taller one go to Jase's side.
Okay, so
And
it's almost
after
like,
that,
I'm sorry?
And then I heard something like, "Hey, hey!" How much time I don't know, but I heard something like explode.
An explosion?
Yeah.
Had you ever heard firearms fired in your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I understand you're trying to describe what the sound is like, but did it sound similar to you that you've heard that sound before?
The sound wasn't loud like that. I just hear, "Hey!"
How many times did you hear that like
I
explosion
can't
sound?
recall how much time, but I know I hear it.
And how long after you ran for your life did you hear that explosion sound?
Like, it was very, very, very fast. You know, like, I'd say like, minute, 2 minutes, the sound go off. I hear it.
When you saw the two gunmen, the shorter one on the passenger side and the taller one on Jase's side, how long after you saw those gunmen positioned like that did you hear the explosion?
Actually in the same, like, I would say like in a minute or two, the explosion went off.
What did you do next?
The vehicle, the car that blocked us, it drove off, and then I go back. I see everybody going down to the car, so I go down there too.
And what did you see?
It was just like, same way like that, just like,
Was he conscious?
I don't see he was moving. He wasn't moving at all.
Was he injured?
I don't know.
Okay. The car that blocked you off, did you recognize that car?
No, I don't recognize what type of car is it like that.
What side of the vehicle did the two gunmen exit the car?
The side, the car was going, I would say south, so they come out on the right hand side. That's, you would say the passenger side.
The passenger side. Okay. Both gunmen came out the passenger side?
One come from the back door and one from the front door.
Okay. So both gunmen came out from the passenger side, one from the front passenger and one from the back passenger.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to see if there was anybody else in the car?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if the gunmen that came out from the passenger side slid over from the driver's side or not?
No, ma'am, I can't tell.
Okay. And you didn't see anybody else in the car from
No.
your vantage point?
No, ma'am.
You remained behind, correct, in order to cooperate and give a statement? to the police when the police eventually showed up?
Yes, ma'am. The whole day I was there, sitting down.
Say that again?
I was there the whole time until everybody with the police.
When you're not talking, Mr. Kerr, just pull back a little bit so that you're not breathing into the microphone because it's very sensitive. Reva Motorsports that you were in, that you went to that day, what county is Reva Motorsports in? Do you know what city it's in?
I think they said over there is off Dixie, somewhere like that.
Off Dixie?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, for example, are you familiar with South Florida?
No, man.
Okay.
Not like that.
I'm sorry?
Not like that.
Not like that.
No.
Do you know that what state you were in when this happened?
All right.
It's not a trick question.
All right. I think we have surveillance. This got released like 4 years ago.
Surveillance video showing the murder of South Florida rapper xxxtentacion and the moments leading up to it.
The 20-year-old was killed back in June, and 4 men have since been indicted. CBS 4's Carrie Cott is in Fort Lauderdale with the story.
Surveillance cameras capture the ambush of rap.
So he's coming out here and they block him off. I don't know. I probably be thinking it's too much Rambo shit. I'm like, yo, I still don't know. Like, I'm flooring that bitch. Fuck that car. I'm flooring that bitch. Before they even get up on it, that's what I'm thinking. Right here, flooring that bitch. But he probably is in shock, bro. He probably is in shock. Right? Probably is in shock, man. These two fucking idiots.
Cameras capture the ambush of rap.
So they come to his window first.
For xxxtentacion.
The uncle's over here.
As he prepared to leave at Deerfield Beach.
Wait, the uncle's already out of there. I thought the uncle said that there was somebody on his side. That's why I was a little confused. The uncle's already out of there. Did I get that wrong, Chet? This is the uncle right here. The uncle. I thought the uncle said that there's somebody on this side. Right?
Motorcycle dealership last.
They look like they aimed at him. He's running.
June. The camera show of.
Yeah, Chad. I can't speak on that, man. I can't speak on that action right there. I can't speak on it. Lord knows that that's only something that his mom could speak on. It's only Cleo that could speak on that. They sent the uncle to accompany him, almost watch over him. And some shit happened. The uncle is out of there, bro. In the testimony, the uncle says, I'm thinking it's somebody who knows X. Which, this is why sometimes, again, you know, as much as people shit on security, sometimes you think family will go harder than security. But when you're faced with a situation where your life hangs in the balance, the dude, I could go back to it. The uncle says, I'm thinking this is some shit. They know him and he know them. So he's thinking, oh, this is some your problem shit. This is one of the reasons, honestly, chat, I don't like going out with family members. Because imagine you out with family members, it comes to a situation where it's either they're going to have to fight with you or how it's going to go. And they're like, oh, no, that's some issues that you got going on. I'm good. I'm out of here. The uncle said, I thought he knew them and they knew him. So he thought, oh, X, this is one of the beefs that you got. I'm good. Let me get out of here. I know we're Monday morning quarterbacking this shit like a motherfucker, but ain't that more reason why you should stay? They're not coming for you. They're coming for your nephew. They're coming for your nephew. By the way, again, I want to be very careful with this. I also don't want to slander the uncle as well, because who knows? He said he forgot a few things. And you know what that tells me? I feel like he's omitting certain shit. I don't know if there's a conversation that may have happened where he's like, yo, drive. And maybe X didn't drive. I don't know. This shit is just so confusing, bro. It's so confusing. So this is a dude probably reaching for X's chain. The other one is training a gun at him. The uncle already dipped, I think. Did Uncle already dip? No, the Uncle dipped.
Tentacion, as he prepared to leave it.
So they're grabbing his chain or just trying to get the bag. Dude is out.
Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront xxxtentacion. One of the men goes into his car. Then there's a confrontation and a robbery, and the men shoot and kill the talented young artist. Surveillance video also showed XXX inside the dealership that day when at least one of the suspects walked past.
This is the dude that's snitching. And I think this is Dedrick Williams.
Inside the dealership that day when at least one of the suspects.
This is such a sad video because X turns for a quick second. And you guys might not know the experience of when you're out and you're known a bit. Obviously, he's a fucking superstar, but when when you feel when somebody knows you. You feel it. You like, I'm telling you.
The dealership that day when at least one of the suspects walked past car. Then there's the talented young artist also showed XX
right here. This look right here, and this guy's looking over. Obviously this is X, so it's not like anybody black knows him. So this might be different. I know with me, I could feel when somebody knows me. Not every black person knows me. White people, I don't know. But most likely, if somebody black, they might. But you could feel it. X knew these niggas knew him. He just didn't think they were. Or maybe he did think they were up to. I don't know, dog.
Sex inside the dealership that day when at least one of the suspects walked past him. A short time later, the drama unfolded outside.
This is the uncle, by the way. By the way, chat, this is another thing. This is another thing why I don't like going out with family. I hate going out with my family. And my family loves me like, oh, let's go here, let's go here. I'm like, nah, like these days, call me paranoid. I'm more like, let me get a security or something. You see, when you go out with family, the cues you got, they don't get. I want you to look at this. I promise you. I'm telling you this because, again, X is a superstar. But I know what a nigga who knows that a lot more people know you than you know them. The uncle has no fucking idea, bro. He's not even thinking that. X sees it for a second. The uncle don't know what's going on. He's just in the bike shop.
Inside the dealership that day, when at least
he don't get it at all. Look at this dude. He's looking back at X. Trust me, X feels this. Like, when I mean feel it, it's like peripherally. You sense it like, okay, this nigga, he know who I am. Whatever, whatever. The uncle, green, bro.
also showed XXX inside the dealership that day when at least one of the suspects walked past him. A short time later, the drama unfolded.
It's a reason why he moved right here. He looked over. He wanted to look at them a little bit more. He's also curious, not because why X is curious. He's curious because he's like, we don't see many niggas that come up in here, much less this nigga's in a wife beater. The uncle don't know what the fuck is going on, bro.
Outside. 4 men.
These are the two dudes who came there. These are the two dudes who hopped out and tried to rob him. This is the guy who allegedly shot him.
And all are charged in the murder. One of them, Robert Allen, appeared in court this week asking to have his bond reduced.
To some extent, was
attorney.
Let me see if I could. There was another video. Oh boy. I don't know if I could get up. Let's see. Hold on, I think this is the video. So here's a full video. I think this is a full video. So this happens. Handguns? Is this handguns or is it a long gun? I can't tell what gun this is. Oh, it looked like it might be one guy's a long gun. This doesn't look like a handgun. This looks like maybe a Draco, some type of. It's not a handgun. This guy right here seems to have a handgun. Four seconds in, he's out of there.
Confront XX.
Okay, it's the same video. All right. Damn. Kind of want to show you what this clown was saying in court, man.
Money.
But let me see if there's anything else relevant. We try to pull it up. I don't know if there's a. Could be today. I just want to play you the full footage. Give me a second. And we'll get into talking about the Drake thing after this. All right. Okay, I have it here. I have it here. So let me play. I'm gonna play with this fucking clown ass lawyer did as his opening statement. It was so fucking horrible. But I'm gonna play it. Give me a second. Just listen to this. Here we go.
Law enforcement and the way that law enforcement deals with certain cases, it does matter. And they do investigate it differently. And as the case progresses, the evidence will show you that law enforcement took different steps that they wouldn't take if it was me or you or any other person. Now, to properly set the stage, and I know Mr. Kimok touched on it, and some of the stuff, I'm gonna try not to be duplicitous, but forgive me if I do touch on certain topics because we are involved in a similar case. To set the stage for you, it's 2018, and he kind of touched on it. February of 2018 was the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas tragic school shooting.
I'm going to object to these comments. It's not relevant and also sorry.
In an opening statement, this fucking clown ass lawyer is bringing up a school shooting.
Like I was saying, that was a horrific, tragic incident that affected Broward County. It affected the citizens of Broward County. It affected BSO. So when you're talking about a law enforcement agency with their back against the wall and with the whole world already watching, that's where they were at in February of 2018. Then all of a sudden...
Hold on, give me 1 second. Nah, give me 1 second. Y'all can see? This is clown. All right, here we go.
All of a sudden, arguably one of the most famous entertainers, literally in the world, is killed in Broward County. That's where BSO was, that's where Broward County was, and all of a sudden they need to figure this out quickly because it affects everything, and the evidence is going to show that their way of figuring it out quickly is they give this case to Detective Curcio, and you're going to meet him, and he's a very experienced detective. As a matter of fact, he's the same detective that was handling the Marjorie Stoneman shooting, which we'll get into that when he's on the stand. But what they do is they try and wrap it up really quick. And I compare it to a gift wrap. Not just a regular gift wrap. I'm talking about the kind you get at Macy's, the professionally done one. That's what they want to do to make it look really nice. And so that the detective can take it to his division chief, and then it goes up the chain of command to the captain, and then that little gift wrap box, the solution to the problem, goes to the state attorney's office, eventually gets assigned to an ASA, and eventually they bring it to you. But as jurors, your job is to really look in the box and find out exactly what happened in this case. And you're going to see that when Mr. Kimok was talking about tunnel vision, this case was all about tunnel vision. Okay, now, many cases that I've had, from the beginning of my career, doing misdemeanors, federal cases, state cases, prosecutors, they love to come in here and they put on their phone pointer finger, the kind you get at the Marlin Stadium.
Objection,
and
argumentative, Judge.
This guy's a clown, bro.
One more what you anticipate they will see.
So, as jurors, just because they're saying that someone did something, your job is to really look at the evidence and find out if they did it or not. Now, the positive thing for you all and for Diedrich is that there's different types of evidence. There's testimonial evidence, which you're going to see people testifying, taking the stand, swearing to tell the truth, and testifying. There's circumstantial evidence, okay? And then there's something like video evidence. And the good thing about video evidence is that you all, sitting here, can look at a video and you don't need ASA Shields or you don't need Detective Curcio to tell you what a video is. You have two eyes and you can figure it out. And in this case, and the evidence will show, when you look at that video, okay, and you're gonna see how Detective Curcio testifies, I want you all to remember this moment and to think about the distinctions in what a seasoned homicide detective is telling you what a video shows and what you all are looking at, and see the distinction and ask yourself why. Why would a seasoned homicide detective make those distinctions and testify that way when I'm seeing with my own two eyes? And you're gonna figure out that it's part of the gift wrap, the solution. Let's figure this out quick, because we need to give everybody, the whole world, a solution, a resolution to the nightmare that was when Mr. Omber was killed. Because no doubt about it, for Broward County, for everybody involved, it was a nightmare. Now the video, it's gonna show Dietrich there, okay? You're gonna see it for yourself. Now, what?
Well, grand opening, grand closing. Nigga, you're saying the video's gonna show your fucking client at the murder scene. Nigga, we don't care who you think paid him. He's going to jail. What is this guy doing?
The prosecution has hitched their wagon to, okay, is Robert Allen. And Mr. Kimmock also touched on Robert Allen. And I'm here to tell you that Robert Allen, first of all, he sat in jail for 4 years. It's not like if that guy was like, all of a sudden wanted to, hey, I'm gonna do the right thing. No, he sat in jail for 4 years, okay? And then eventually, he came forward and he's giving multiple different versions of what occurred. And when you finally see him testifying and you finally see us cross-examine him, remember and ask yourself, can I convict Dietrich if I don't believe Robert Allen? The answer is no. Robert Allen is the one that puts him in the car. Robert Allen puts him behind the wheel. Robert Allen satisfies a lot of what the prosecution needs. And the fact that they need that from him, judge him for yourself. Judge him for yourself, listen to him, and then you ask yourself if I can believe him and whether or not I can convict someone on his testimony. The video, which Mr. Kimmock he was pretty thorough about his explanation of the video. The next time you see that dog, it's in an accident. And it's in an accident like it got T-boned by another car. Totally unexpected. Was my client in the car? No. My client's not in the car. Now, tunnel vision is a very dangerous thing in prosecuting cases and in law enforcement investigation. Why? Well, I compare it to driving a motorcycle, which I never have done. My mom never let me do it, but like driving a motorcycle, I'm envisioning like a really fast one. You're trying to get from point A to point B in the fastest amount of time. So what happens? You lose everything in the periphery, okay? And what happened in this case is that they did that. They wanted to solve the case, resolve the case, close the case so quickly that they refused to listen to any other evidence that didn't comport with what they wanted, what they believed, or what they wanted their narrative to be. The evidence will show.
Well, that's argumentative more. What the evidence will show. I got you.
So listen, you're gonna hear from Detective Curcio, and I'm gonna cross-examine him, and I'm gonna get a lot of things out. But for instance, when around 2021, the evidence will show that Tanel Carter, Dietrich's ex-girlfriend, came forward and said, hey, I want to make sure that you guys know that Dietrich wasn't driving. Now, she basically was altering her statement. And you would say to yourself, wow, that's big, right? That's a big thing, because this is a very important case. This is, as you can imagine, one of Broward County's more important cases simply because it involves a celebrity, which it shouldn't be, but it is, okay? And you have one of their main witnesses, one of the witnesses that they're relying on to put him in the car, that they're relying on to put him behind the wheel, she comes forward, and the testimony will show, and the evidence will show that they didn't do anything. They didn't bring her in to re-interview her, to talk to her, nothing. Because it didn't comport with the narrative that they wanted to pursue, okay? In the same breath, before X died, he said, if anybody kills me, it's Drake.
What?
And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he's killed by 2 masked men, right? He came on social media and said, guys, before he dies, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be? If any of us is involved in, God forbid, in a murder, and you say, hey, it's so-and-so, you better believe so-and-so is going to get investigated. But in this case, they didn't do it. They didn't do it because it didn't comport with their version and their narrative. And as law enforcement, I think that they have the obligation to do so. Another issue. And the evidence will show that before Mr. Onfroy was killed, there was an individual by the name of Antonio King, aka 600 Breezy, that posted on...
You gotta be fucking kidding me. 600 Breezy? Chat, I know some of y'all really want to believe this, like, oh, Drake, this, blah, blah, but the same fucking nut-ass lawyer just mentioned 600 Breezy. This thing is like Orlando Brown.
On YouTube saying, when I get off of probation, I'm going... Antonio King, 600 Breezy, literally came here to Florida and took videos by Mr. Onfroy's house, threatening him, okay? Fast forward, he's shot by 2 masked men. Do you think BSO ever investigated this? Do you think anyone in Broward County ever, went to ask him any questions? To this day, years later, that's never happened. So ask yourself, why? Why would they not investigate it? Because it doesn't comport to the narrative that they want. And that's going to be a motif in this case. You're going to see that it's consistently the same issue. It's not what they want to hear. It's not what they want to hear. So they don't investigate it. And they have an obligation. You're gonna hear from Cleopatra Bernard, Mr. Onfroy's mom. And
the ex's mom.
She's gonna sit there, and she's gonna tell you that the reason that she wanted security with Mr. Onfroy on the day that he was shot was because of the issues that he had with Drake and Migos. She's gonna tell you that. Okay? Now, what issues did she have? There's issues where Migos was attacked by him, but the important thing is that the mom is going to tell you that that's why I wanted that security with him. Okay? So, do you think anybody's ever talked to them? No. And that's unacceptable. Curcio himself is going to sit there and tell you, okay, the Crime Stoppers, did any name consistently come up? He's going to tell you, yeah, Drake. He's going to tell you that. But they never investigated it. And you know what? Celebrity is not a cloak of invisibility. If you're part of a case, you're part of a case. And they should have. Now listen, I mean, look, blinders is for racehorses, okay? It's not for detectives. It's not for attorneys. And it certainly isn't for jurors. So all I'm asking you is, as a jurors, okay? My job as an attorney is to ask questions, and your job as jurors is also to ask questions, okay? I mean, you can't really verbally do it like I'm doing it, but you can ask questions to yourself, okay? And inquire, why did this happen this way, okay? And I'm looking forward to spending these weeks and these months together with you so we can figure out what the truth is in this case. And I feel really blessed to be here for Dietrich. I feel really honored to represent him, and I'm looking forward to, in this time that we have together, to get to the truth. Because when we get to the truth, you guys are going to find that Dietrich is not guilty of these crimes. Thank you so much.
Man, let's get to the chat. I know a lot of y'all want to be cynicist. I won't even sit here, and I know I'm a big Drake fan, and say that maybe Drake hasn't perhaps alluded to. I don't know this is a fact. Maybe he did allude to X dying. I don't know. If he did, it's tasteless. If he did, as one of his biggest fans, I don't support it. Clearly, him and X weren't on the best of pages before X died. But did Drake kill X? You have to be an idiot to think that, right? I've spoken on this multiple times. I've said this, again, I don't know how much, people that believe conspiracy theories are going to believe it. I'm going to go back in time and tell y'all what happened when he posted, "If anything happens to me, Drake did it." X didn't, he felt Drake took his song or copied his style. With Galchester, he'd think he took his cadence. He said, not only does this guy not really show up for me when I was locked up, he's taking my shit. No acknowledgement. And he wouldn't help me in my worst moment. X hit me up. There was a video of a guy who looked similar to Drake. And it looked like that person was giving fellatio to another man. There was also, and I'm sorry I'm describing in detail, but I have to. There was also semen apparently on that person's face. X texted my phone. Said, "Yo, Ack. Yo, you gotta post this shit. Bro, you have to post it. It's Drake." And I remember saying, "Bro, chill." It's like, yo, I said, that gotta be fake. Like, LOL or something. We got on the phone and I said, "Bro," I did a quick Google search. It was a fake picture. I'm like, "Dog, it's not Drake. I can't post it." He's like, "Nah, bro, yo, that's just funny as hell." X is funny. That's just, it's like, yo, this just funny as hell. I said, "Bro, I'm running a news page. I can't post it, bro." He's like, "Yo, well, fuck it." He's like, "Yo, I'll post it." He said, "If I post it, you will repost it." Right? I'm like, "Well, yeah, I guess I will," because I say you posted it. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm posting it." I think he posted on Twitter, maybe Instagram. Obviously, I can't post porn. It was really porn. He posts that, but he didn't stop there. He eventually posted something about Drake's mom, posted some other stuff. This was I believe maybe the same day. It could be, I was just about to get the uncle for not remembering, but shit, I don't remember certain stuff from fucking 5 years ago now. Damn, it's fucking 5 years ago since 2018. Jesus. I remember at a point, because we had gotten off the phone, I called X and I said, "X, you need to chill." Because I forgot what he was saying about Drake's mom. And I said, "Bro, chill, bro." And I said, the reason why I'm trying to tell you to chill is that you really believe that if Drake showed up to your court hearing when you were up for release or bond, it would have made such a statement that you felt you would have got out. And that's why you're partly mad at him, because he didn't show up. He didn't even acknowledge it. You say you didn't care if he took or whatever when it came to look at me. You wanted essentially to be free. And you felt a way when you requested, that's all he did. He didn't give a fuck. I remember calling X and I said, "X, bro, you have to chill." I said, "You're now putting up his mama up there." I said to him, I said, if you thought he was that powerful, this is what I said to him. I said, if you thought Drake was that powerful that he could have just showed up to your hearing and you would get let out of jail, if you think he's that powerful, well, why would you then think it's okay to post his mom and do all that type of stuff where, you know, if a nigga could get you out of jail, a nigga damn well could probably put you in one too. You probably want to chill. He says, he agrees. He says, nah, you're right. He deletes all the shit. He says he was hacked. He wasn't hacked, clearly. Then he puts out, I believe, the last thing. He says, yo, if anything happens to me, this is obviously after a conversation, if anything happens to me, Drake did it. But it's like a joke. Right? Cool. I don't even know when that happened in regards to how, like, let me see if I can find when it's not even close to the time of when he died. I don't think so. Post Drake picture. Let me see. Yeah, okay, great. So this happened this was February 24th, 2018. X didn't die till June 2018. This is 4 months later. He died 4 months later. Okay? I believe he even got into it with the Migos afterwards. I could be wrong. Maybe the Migos thing happened before. But I think he even got into it with the Migos afterwards. The reality of it is that I do know, and trust me, he's one of the only rappers that I can admit I've shed many tears when covering stories, when rehashing any type of, like, you know, personal conversations that I had with him. He's someone who I hold in very high esteem. And I know, just like me, a lot of his fans and a lot of people who he's helped so many people, are confused and shit. I'm even listening to the uncle, and I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm a little still confused because I just can't understand how the stars align this way. It just doesn't make sense, right? So it's easy to believe conspiracy theories that somebody just had a hit out for him, that somebody whatever. But we got to be logical too. If, right? And let's say it was like Drake. I mean, I would have hated Drake for life. But we also got to be like, when I mean logical, think about this, bro. Not only did I explain, anybody who has this conspiracy theory about that, I've explained exactly what happened when he even posted the message. He posted that right after saying he got hacked. And that's after a conversation where I literally was trying to tell him, stop going at Drake's mother, because if you thought he was so powerful to get you let out of jail, he could get you locked up. And he agreed, and he took it down and said he got hacked. But then he put up in the true troll fashion, if anything happens to me, Drake did it. That's all that happens. What I'm saying, also using our minds and being logical and not just going off conspiracy theories because we're hurt. We then have to look at not only how this happened, but let's say if you did really believe Drake did it, these guys are never going to see the light of day again. Why doesn't one of these guys just come out and snitch on Drake? Gunna snitched on Thug for some McDonald's. What do you think is, like, these guys are desperate to get out? One of them is already telling. Robert Allen's telling already. If Drake hire these guys, as some people might think, why would they protect Drake? Also, if you look at the surveillance footage, and it's going to come out, you're going to see there is some just fucking ridiculous luck in them running into X. It's unexplainable. There's no proof they were stalking him before. Somebody says, "Ak, you sound goofy right now." Do y'all really think that Drake? If I don't even know. You see, people who believe that, like, I don't even know what to say to them. You do know Drake would be in jail. Like Tate, like anybody else. If you do some shit like that, you're getting told on, you're going to jail. The point what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, this fucking this rumor about Drake seems like it's always going to persist. Because fans, just like myself, are having a hard time processing grief. This X died 4 years and about 8 months ago. 4 years and about 8 months ago. And even to this day, if I do a YouTube video about it, if I talk to y'all about it, I still feel me tearing up because I loved him just like y'all love him. And I understand why y'all gonna always have some of these theories. I just want, and by the way, you know, I'm heavily invested in this trial. I want to see these niggas go to jail for life, bro. That's it. If you love X, even if you do think Drake did it, focus on this trial. At least these niggas is locked up. These niggas gotta go. They gotta go. If it was a death penalty, I'd be rooting for that too. There is actually a death penalty in Florida. For whatever reason, they did not get it because it has to be almost damn near premeditated and cold-blooded. And I don't think it fit the standard of cold-blooded and premeditated for this murder because they believe they were doing a robbery, and such is the case. Y'all could tell me any lyric you want. First of all, Drake been rapping like he's a gangster, number one. Number two, a lot of his lyrics, people who really know, connect him to a lot of Toronto shit. But I'll digress. I'm not trying to make nothing hot for nobody. But even if you did believe that, okay, Drake rapped about it on Mob Ties, I'm not saying Drake is above rapping about something taunting someone he never liked. Okay? I'm not saying Drake is above that. Does that mean he did? All right, cool. Let's say Drake is rapping about X. When he's like, yo, if he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Okay, cool. Let's say he's doing that, which, by the way, is completely tasteless. But let's say he's doing that. What proof is that he killed him? Drake hired them? Nah, bro. Y'all gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop, man. Pull up the lyrics to Mob Ties and I'm upset. Bro, y'all guys to stop, man. Hold on. Louis bags in exchange for body bags. I think Drake is a lyricist and he doesn't say shit randomly. I'm not sure when this song got recorded. I think it got recorded afterwards, right? Yeah, that's Drake just actually being corny. Sorry, like that's my favorite artist, but like that, if that's him referring to X, that's him just taunting somebody, which doesn't prove he did nothing. Like what the fuck did y'all think? Now y'all giving Drake too much credit. If y'all think Drake killed X, like if you really think Drake killed X, why are so many other niggas alive? Drake done been beefing with mad niggas. Sick of these niggas, hire some help, get rid of these niggas. Fuck what it was, it is what it is. Whatever you did, it is what it is. I fuck with a mob and I got a lot of ties, knock you off to pay their ties. I mean, like, y'all focusing on that Louis bag shit, but like Drake kind of been rapping gangster, like I don't know about who. Please don't let them fool you. I don't care how they look. I heard all the talking, now it's quiet, now it's shush. 29 is coming, they on edge when I cook, lead in scoring. But look at my assists. Yeah, I be with Future, but I like to reminisce. I don't forget a thing. I'm patient. It's a gift. Try to tell them they ain't got to do it. They insist. Yeah, I could tell. I just gave him 2 for 40 like Chappelle. Standing over coffin with a hammer and a nail. Heard you hit up so-and-so. The name don't ring a bell. And then what's the other song called? Was it On BS? Okay. Damn, maybe I should do a 20. Maybe I should break that 20, do a 10. Maybe I should break that 10, do a 5. If it get live, do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Yo, chat. Y'all delusional, man. Y'all just don't want to accept the fact that this is a bunch of niggas who was trying to hit a lick, my nigga. Like, y'all can't be slow enough to think Drake just hired 4 random shooters, like, that he's never... Let's say Drake was a killer. Why hire 4 random shooters in Florida and think you're not going to get caught? Somebody says, Get Back ain't got no date. Man, y'all are tripping. Somebody says, what do I think X said to the killers? I'm not giving that shit up. Fuck y'all. Suck a dick. I'm not giving that shit up. You probably say, give it, we gonna shoot you. Fuck you, nigga. You gotta kill me. I'm not saying that's verbatim, but that was X's demeanor. Like, you see, some of y'all never had the privilege of having a lot of personal conversations with him. You would get to know his spirit and his demeanor a little bit more. X wasn't scared of the gun. I believe until those bullets hit his flesh and he went numb and he was pretty much unconscious, I don't believe that X had fear of what they were doing or that they were going to kill him. Somebody says, I like to dissect theories unless Drake is involved. Okay, so how we gonna start with, like, your only connection to the fucking theory is a fucking, like, 3 songs? So on BS, I'm Upset, and Mob Ties, how am I gonna connect that to anything real? Sicko Mode 423. What does Drake say Sicko Mode? I think he did say something slick in there. What'd he say? Like a light, A. Slept through the flight, A. Knock for the night. 767. Man, this shit got double bedroom, and I still got scores to settle, man. I crept down the block, made a right, cut the lights, paid the price. This is all like Kanye. Niggas think it's sweet. It's on sight. Nothing nice. Spaghetti's in my ice. Jesus Christ. Checks over stripes. That's what I like. That's what we like. Lost my respect. You not a threat. When I shoot my shot, that shit wetty like I'm Shaq, bitch. See the shots that I took, wet like I'm Book, wet like I'm Lizzie. I be spinning Valley Circle blocks till I'm dizzy. Like where Izzy? Is this he saying? Oh, somebody said the video. Sicko Mode Drake. And you said 423?
Like a light. Half a Zan. 13 hours till I land.
I hear what y'all say with this, but y'all do know that this is not Drake's song. Drake would not shoot the video, right? Drake would not make the edits. Yeah, maybe he approved some edits, but like he's not shooting the video. He shoots with that nigga. What's that nigga named Theo Scuduro or whatever his name is? I'm pretty sure you could look under here and probably find who the fuck did the video. Look, who directed Sicko Mode video? We could like find it. So it was shot by Dave Myers. Okay? I know y'all keep saying, oh, Ike, you're not putting the same work you would put in for like a takeoff situation because you like Drake. Nah, nigga, all right, cool. You want to do it? Let's do it. Dave Myers. Let's go. Let's find him on social. Dave Myers Instagram. So he shot the video, right? He's overseen everything. This is his page. He did Way Too Sexy. Let me see. What's this? Let Somebody Go. What video is this? This is I Did. Is this him? That's not him, right? Let me not go too much into the fucking... What video is this? All right. You know what I'll do y'all a solid, okay? And by the way, somebody says Ung set him up. I don't believe it's Ung set him up. Also to the person who sent in a donation earlier about like, there was like, oh, something about red pill, like talking points or whatever the case is. Hey, I would love for you to join Discord. We could have a conversation about that too. Chat, listen, it's 4 o'clock, man. I'm getting the fuck off of here, man. I've been streaming too late, so I gave out 4 hours, but like I want to be on earlier. So let me get off of here. Tomorrow, I'm gonna aim to get on at 10 o'clock. That could do like 10 to 3 or some shit. Because at 4 o'clock, I'm about to get up mad late. If I sleep 4 hours right now, it's already late. All right. This is what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna do y'all a solid. I'm gonna go off on. Y'all sending me on a dummy mission. But I'm gonna keep the same energy, right? We're gonna go and we're gonna investigate this thing tomorrow. Okay, let's get into the full shit behind this whole X murder. I hate doing this for X's murder because I'm telling you, I promise y'all, I was watching it earlier today on Law and Crime. Bruh, it's emotionally taxing for me, and that's usually not the case when it comes to hip hop shit. And it's not because I'm not emotional. It's just this does something to me. I'm telling you, I tear up, all that type of stuff. But I will indulge y'all if y'all really think that, you know what I mean. Obviously, I would love to get to the full bottom of this. By the way, the trial's going on too, which the trial got a lot of stuff we don't have. I'll tell you this. Tomorrow, let's start it from scratch, okay? We can't just be, the proof can't be social media and fucking lyrics, though. We got to get into, okay, so if you really think Drake paid these motherfuckers, who did they pay? Let's go find these motherfuckers' family members. Let's see who went on the good trip or whatever the case is. Let's figure out what the fuck happened. If you really think Drake, because all these niggas, if Drake paid these niggas, how the fuck he has a broke-ass motherfucking public defender? And also, why wouldn't the public defender just say, yo, my client is going to testify that Drake paid him? So who got paid? Is it the snitch? Because the snitch would have snitched on Drake too. So it can't be the snitch. It can't be this guy with his goofy ass lawyer. And then there's the other 2 dudes who actually did the robbery. You want us to get into their history? Y'all want to do that? I feel like y'all just want me to waste time, but I will do it. But I still don't think, let me tell you this, man. Yo, I know I lost an uncle to gun violence. And my mom, based on some family drama that happened, my mom believes a particular person had something to do with it because of some of the drama that was existing. And granted, after, the police investigated, we kind of got like what really happened. Like, the story is A. My mom believes B, and she will never let it go. That's like a conspiracy theory because, your emotion gets into it. It's not just about being fact-based. I'm trying to be about fact-based shit. So, I don't know, man. Anyway, chat, I'll be back on tomorrow, hopefully at like 10 o'clock. I'll schedule it. I'm going to call the stream, We're Investigating Drake, okay? We'll get deep, into this whole thing. By the way, if I missed any topics, which I probably did, I'll get to them tomorrow. Today was actually pretty chill. I ain't even going no rants or nothing. We was just kind of kicking it. This was cool. Regardless, I'll be back on tomorrow. Okay, chat? I love y'all so much, and I see somebody just sent in a donation, so thank y'all. Let me make sure I salute all my subs, too, because I feel horrible when I would do that. Big Elvis, thank you for the donation. Also, Hide Your Wife says, yo, can I ask you a couple questions on stream through Discord? Real nigga shit. I'll be on Discord tomorrow, okay? Because I haven't been on Discord in 2 days. The big dude, somebody says they're saying Offset was arguing with P, not Quavo. Is that true? Well, that's interesting. By the way, we didn't fully talk about this. Could somebody bring this up tomorrow for me? Somebody write me a list. So we investigating Drake. That's the main topic. We're gonna investigate this whole thing with with P and Quavo and Offset. I actually have another angle towards it. Hella Pape, thank you for the resubscription. Somebody says W Jalen Hurts. Why is that? I don't know. Moncho King, Deucegag, Nunez Boy, thank you all y'all for the subs. Scorp 10868, thank you. and ron.com. All right, chat. I'll be back on tomorrow. Somebody says, "Yo, Ross Class Jamaican bobsled team."